Happy Friday, everybody. 4x4 and Regdor here with you for some United Prestige League action. We hope you're doing half as well as we are. Regdor, I think you and I are excited to get into this one, half because we don't really know what to expect, partially because Blue Esports got some high-level players, but they were on a bye last week, so they have not debuted this split just yet.
No, absolutely the case. I'm excited. It's been a hot minute since I've been on the desk, hanging out, getting to do some League of Legends here in the beautiful summer. And like you said, Team Blue, they've been big chilling last week. Took the week off, but we know a bit about Team Rapid. Excited. They came back last week after a 2-0 win, if I remember correctly. My maths. So they should be raring to go. We'll have to see if there's some rust to shake off with Team Blue or if they're just always blue and ready to go.
Well, did you know that my shirt said big chillin' and that's why you said that, or no?
No, I didn't even know it said big chillin'. That's just like my key phrase right there. Just a little bit of that.
There we go. Yeah. Shout out Midwest Movement. I've got to rep that brand. There we go. But this one should be a good one. Like you said, Team Rapid, they 2-0'd Zenigma Solar last week. A close game and then a not so close game. And like we've seen with a lot of the early going of the competitive League of Legends after the base to durability patch, the meta's all over the place and teams are trying out all sorts of different looks.
No, I think that is exactly it. How many people are getting out on like that 90 HP thinking that Ignite's gonna, take them down, and then it doesn't, has really shaken up the game. And I think that especially in this level, they're still trying to figure out what's what, because there's always the fun solo queue picks that work out. Like we're seeing this huge like Singed mid resurgence, and everybody thinks he's phenomenal, but he doesn't actually do much in like the team game. I think Zeri's like reclaimed herself as the queen of the bot lane to some people's chagrins. But nobody's sold on anything independently. And that's what makes it so fun, is watching the meta like come to life in real time.
Yeah, and half of it is that interplay between solo queue and team play, which we always see in competitive League of Legends. But now when if the meta was a deck of cards, you just took it and just boom, 52 card pickup. And that's where we're at. Like you said, you are starting to see separate the men from the boys, if you will, as far as what works competitively. And with the rise of Enchanter supports, picks like Renata are unbelievably strong, and that's going to be the first ban that Blue Esports is going to take away as we get into draft here.
Yeah, and as we come into the draft, that's where, like, what is the power pick? What's that definitive B1? Becomes so much more of that 52-card pickup. Maybe sometimes we're just grabbing, I don't know, a Senna off the ground and saying, this is the strongest thing I think we have in the deck. Whereas I think
that's a heck of a find if you just grab that from 52-card pickup.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the Ace of Spades ready to go. It's the trump card. But we still have seen like Lucian Nami, Samira Nautilus, like these very aggressive early game lanes still working out. So it's really fun of like, are we going to scale and chill? Or are we just going to try to get our hands dirty and snowball this game out of control before the scaling comps can come online?
Yeah, scaling has been, at least as far as the numbers go anyway, seems like emerging as the most optimal way to play, whether it's increased durability to the champions early on, tier 1 towers being strong, but not quite as strong. We are in 10 or 12, 11, so the power on those tier 1 towers has been yanked back a little bit. You aren't seeing quite as much of that, right? You're seeing junglers maybe playing a little bit safer, and picks like, unfortunately, to my chagrin, Udyr coming back into play here. I think he was picked in the LCS just now, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, Graves being taken away as well. But Ahri, one of the survivors that has not lost a step at all from our pre-MSI League of Legends meta until now.
Yeah, and Ahri's just one of those picks that gives you everything you want, has great wave clear, has good setup in that mid-jungle 2v2, and just is really good at deleting or, two-rounding a ADC out of the fight if they're able to find a flank. So really makes sense. And somebody found the card on the ground, it looks like. Maybe that's just being taken out. Just on this patch especially, she did get that adjustment where her soul rate's the same for farming as well as, not farming. So kind of that dual threat depending on the matchup. But there it is. The queen of the bot lane. The spark of our life.
Your queen has arrived. And is going to light a spark into Regdor's heart and into this draft. Yeah, she's going to be B1 right now. Not often. I mean, that goes to show you. an ADC being B1 like that, you really don't see it that often. Maybe you'll see it on, on the other side because you can pair it with your support and you can just lock up your bot lane matchup like we're seeing here. But it goes to show you Zeri's power. And on the other side, Team Rapid going to respond with an Ezreal Karma, like we said, and Chancer support. They are the bee's knees. I think that's what the kids are saying these days. And Ezreal is a champion that lines up really nicely with her as far as a lane dominant pairing.
What kids are you hanging out with that are saying bee's knees? That's like at the retirement home. That's where I'm like vibing at. But yes, Karma is what I call a trash panda. In the fact that so she can go back to base and pick up almost anything. She's like, here's a fairy charm, here's a ruby crystal and a control ward, and still somehow come back to lane. And with those mantra Qs, do so much damage. So seeing her paired alongside the Ezreal, we saw it in the LPL and LCK early in the spring split of just having this kind of pushing lane that gives you strength that makes up for Ezreal's early lack of wave clear, and should hopefully threaten what is kind of Zeri's weakest points, is almost pre 2-3 items, is where you can really take advantage of her. And paired alongside of Yuumi, this is like saying to me that Blue Esports is not wanting to force too much in the early game and just kind of vibe it out and hopefully play towards this Gangplank, our favorite pirate.
Yes, the draft for Blue Esports so far is screaming sit back and scale, whereas at some parts of that, the Ezreal maybe says that as well for Team Rapid, but Aatrox, he's a champ that needs to get going. Very boomer bust as more bans come in here. Yone being taken away. We did see a lot of, even in the bans last game against Team Rapid, a lot of solo lane bans. Deathwalker and Witness Me, they got a lot of attention in the pick ban.
With a name like Witness Me and Deathwalker, like those just sound like such hardcore names. And we see the Aatrox there and like Witness Me, Aatrox, just...
You're just going full edgelord.
Yeah, I just like want a Pentakill album just named Witness Me now with Aatrox on the cover. I don't know why, but somebody make that happen somewhere. Riot, hire me. I've got good ideas.
Let's see if it ends up being a good idea. Yeah, Victor, another control mage that has survived the rest of the meta. Wukong being taken away. I like that ban a lot. You can slot that homie in just about anywhere. Such a good team fighter. His W going over walls, that was kind of what brought him back into the meta, right into the jungle. He can be flexing to a couple different roles. Hell, you could throw him into support if you really, really wanted to, especially with Senna being as dominant as she is again, right? Yeah, Senna TK's that pairing. But on the other side here, Syndra, she again has started to creep her head back into the meta here. And I like this for Blue Esports because I think it gives you something in the early game, especially if you go Electrocute or something. If Juke Joustor does that, then he will have a little more purchase, right? Should the Aatrox start running over, Blue Esports has a potential of an answer in the early game.
No, for sure. And I think, paired alongside a Diana,
that powerful mid-jungle combo.
Yeah, that is the mid-jungle combo you want, but answered straight back by the Kindred. And I was going to say for both the Victor as well as the Syndra, they've seen these adaptations with the durability patch. Like, burst mages have not been feeling the love there, where 2-item Syndra used to just full combo and take somebody out of the fight. Not doing that as much. So we've seen these adaptations where they've been moving into like Leandries and building damage over time into their kits to kind of bridge that gap to be something more consistent with like a battle mage. So it'll be interesting to see like what is their kind of itemization in the early game to hopefully help bridge that gap and get something going, because we know it about Kindred is they need something. That's Pentakill Aatrox. Oh my god.
That's Pentakill Yuumi, brother. Based on where that appeared.
Yeah, I know, right? Pentakill Yuumi. Actually ship it. Take that in there too. She can play the violin.
Yeah. You gotta... That's what I could honestly see that. Only now after like the EDG Yuumi skins came out, I thought that was like such an incredible color scheme for champs. Like just so edgy of a Philios Viego. They just bleed this just silver hair anime protagonist energy, and then you've got Zoe and Yuumi. I think that's beautiful. That's what we want out of the Riot design team. Yeah, as these drafts shake up here, Kindred is something that I've seen again as the meta has developed. Kindred's been a power pick. And again, kind of one of these self-sufficient junglers that in the right hands can be really, really lethal. I have not seen Kindred actually get through the ban, so I'm excited to see what this champ can bring to the table. And again, for me, all the attention is on these two jungle picks. These are going to be explosive in the early game.
No, absolutely. And I think Kindred's a pick that kind of warps the game, if you will. It's definitely a champion that has to be played for, has to get to those first 4 marks. Really, that's the big first break point that kind of unlocks their kit. But on the opposite side, for Diana, is that power jungler just wants to get to 6, wants to get to the Moonfall, and then be able to start affecting the game. There's been this really weird build that I'm hopefully maybe I'll get to see someday. Is actually just a tank style build. It's a Nashor's Tooth and Sunfire Cape.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's disgusting because it's like she just gets on you and you can't kill her. You can't get her off. We've mostly seen it with like the Diana Yasuo combo, right? It's just the big setup for it. But even on its own, it can do so much as we are getting onto the Rift. Right meow.
Right meow. We are getting onto the Rift, said 9 lives. But yeah, no, the Sunfire Assassin junglers, that has been a part of the meta that I really hope goes away, because that just sounds like something I really, really don't want to deal with on a regular basis. But right now, I think you nailed it. A lot of these weaknesses that Assassins traditionally will find themselves in, these buffs to the tank items have made them, Gore Drinker was one thing, because it gives you sustain, like, if you're kind of good enough to play around it. But with the tank items, you just sit back and let your money do the talking.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. And so I have a friend who believes that whenever they play ARAM Assassins, they just build full tank. It's like the TFT style. You just never die, and eventually your base stats will do enough to kill them. But, the Diana, definitely one of those picks known for being able to deal out a lot of damage and be able to get to that backline mixed with the Moonfall. May not be, Yasuo, but Syndra can definitely start helping set up those wombo combos with the Scatter of the Week. But we will see just a standardized start, both bot lanes leashing. Maybe we'll get to see something spicy up towards the top lane with the GP Aatrox matchup.
Yeah, I was going to say that this matchup, how do you read it these days? Is it any different from how it was? Because we talked about it, this top side is going to be really explosive in the early game. And then you pointed out that pathing is just hard telegraphing where these junglers are looking to go kind of around level 3.
GP is one of those champions that feels like it's so feast or famine depending on who's piling in and how. Because you would think like he'll get the early damage and be able to poke out Witness Me a lot. He's able to keep that spacing. But I feel like Witness Me is able just to get on top of the GP. He's just in trouble. Like you can see right there with the parlay. Just be able to get that huge chip damage to kind of keep away from the all-in threat.
Yeah, and that Doran Shield start for Witness Me is saying a lot. He's down to almost no HP, but he's a level up, so he's deciding to take that little window that he got, Z-score. Like you said, those, you call it a Trash Panda build, I call it a garage sale build, but it's the same energy, right? She can come back with next to nothing and really be a menace in the lane. Does Gangplank's auto still do like the melee auto, right? Is
the
that still
burn.
Potent? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's honestly one of the craziest things that you get to watch is like these super aggressive Gangplanks just sit in the bush and just walk up level 1 and say, I'm just going to burn you to death, basically. So that helps kind of cut down on some of it. Yeah, the true damage as well as on the parlay that like built-in Grievous Wounds does a lot, hopefully, to keep Witness Me at bay and not really like break open this thing, right? It's the kind of semi-melee into a ranged matchup where the range just has to auto-space correctly into it.
No, it's a really skill-intensive match right there. Speaking of matches, going right in, he has to pop the heal on it. 9 lives, maybe thought he got the worst out of the trade, but now with the comfort of his jungler, Zihu, gonna eat the ignite and let Furnace clean up the rest. He's double buffed, tried a cheeky flash into the bush, but Matches finally got all his combo back. Waited just a little too long, the rest of the rotation came up for Matches, and now Zihu has to flash away, and it's Matches that after a back-and-forth trade in the bottom lane comes away with first blood.
Oh my gosh. That is a hold your breath moment right there, and showing that Ezreal is not just the sit back and chill sort of champ, can be played so aggressively as we saw from Matches there with that PTA alongside Z-Score, just playing it to the absolute limit to be able to get that first blood. And what that means now is off this back has a nice little setup. Looks like they're going to have that Sheen and boots, and the Sheen with the Spellblade proc changes the game, really puts him in that healthy spot on the Ezreal to be able to trade out effectively.
Yeah, that is huge, right? It's Tier Sheen is that initial 1-2 punch And the tier is obviously that late game investment, but for an Ezreal, you hit the nail right on the head. That Sheen does some sneaky damage. He's coming back with some boots as well. Got the Doran's Blade. Meanwhile, Who says, all right, fair play, tips his cap, and he comes back with a call.
And, you know, since the durability patch, the call has been a huge piece that actually helps out so much with the in-lane sustain. We do see that Zeri decided to take the Doran's shield instead, realizing they're going to get poked super hard in this matchup. But even Doran's shield plus Cole gives a lot more safety alongside the Yumi. 9 lives. Still has all 9 as of right now. Able to just keep Zehu.
And that's why he's got the Dark Seal. He says, I'm not going to lose any of them.
Yeah. That's what you call the confidence investment right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Matches. I mean, I for me, what was wild about that trade was that Matches, I thought he was absolutely dead to rights when he went like a little too far, and then Furnace comes in and is able to, you know, just take advantage of the fact that Matches took a tower shot right once he blew his arcane shift. That is your commit button as Ezreal, because that thing's got like a 5,000 second cooldown at rank 1. And it was a really good job by them to just extend that fight. It was really, really impressive play so far from Team Rapid.
Absolutely, and that is like the downside of the Zeri. I think most of the damage in her kit at this point is all in that W and having that empowered, you know, little spark of life, if you will, that's able to do so much damage. But when that's the only thing you're kind of sitting on with a Doran shield, you don't even have the base AD from like a D-Blade to really kind of shift you through. So they definitely knew their limits from the side of Team Rapid to say, hey, we can draw this fight out, get our cooldowns back, and be able to trade this around.
Yeah, great self-awareness, great awareness of your champion as well. Furnace, he's the one on the jungle side anyway. Came back with a Dark Seal, and I think actually took a second back here, because he came back with that and then an Amp Tome to boot. Really good stuff from 9 lives, keeping Zehu alive here, allowing him to trade back. There's that Mantra Q. It's like a truck. And Z-Score, he still got that all-important Ignite that in these trades with the champion like Yumi, if you do want to go for that all-in, now that your ADC is a kill ahead, that's a summoner spell to really, really watch out for.
I absolutely agree. But the interesting thing is, I didn't think about this. We'll see how much it kind of like works out as the game moves along. But is the fact of Zeri's passive being able to do that shield stealing against the Inspire from Z-Score, like you can see a little bit here in the early game. It's giving a little bit back. So it's like almost like the full defensive setup from Zehu here with the Doran shield plus stealing shields plus having a Yumi on your side. It's just saying, I'm going to not throw the early game. I'm going to not give up more than we need to. We'll have to see the meta-ish style build right now. It has been like the Shield Bow or even the Kraken Slayer has a pretty high win rate as well into Phantom Dancer IE. So depending on the itemization choices, really start setting them up for success once they're able to get that Noon Quiver under their belt.
Yeah, that's that first big power spike. Like you were saying, yeah, I've seen Kraken Slayer in a lot of... do you think it's a byproduct of the durability patch? Because I feel like I've seen it run into comps where I'm like, I don't feel like you're getting a ton of value out of it, but maybe just the inherent beefiness of champions has led people to think, no, it just feels better. You kind of need that extra little oomph.
I think after the durability patch and the nerfs to the on-hit build that we first saw from her when she rose to prominence is kind of just been a question mark of, well, what's the best crit pathing? I think that in games where you're not too worried about the all-in threat, you have the ability to go Kraken Slayer and just index into the damage. But most games I've seen, Shield Bow be the most effective just by proxy of you have so many things that just want to come in on you, like the Aatrox and the Kindred in this case, before she gets too many marks on him. It's just going to be close range burst damage. So it feels like the Shield Bow would do the best for him there, just to say I get to stay in the fight and get that Omnivamp lifesteal. Ooh.
Yeah, speaking of, Juke Joukster just missed the Scatter of the Week. There was that all-in that you were talking about. Not quite as potent as it once was, but Lost Chapter Doran's Ring, that hurts. But Deathwalker was able to, I think, evading that Scatter of the Week certainly helped. Juke Joukster maybe not found himself in a tough spot, hits that Scatter of the Week, but Matches gets set up for the True Shot Barrage and is able to take Juke Joukster right out of the fight. Had to blow his flash. He doesn't have TP. Witness Me pops the World Ender just in case the fight wants to continue. Mimic up 20. Hear that? 20. Holy moly. CS on Furins. But Firenz has level 6. That's all he really needs. In goes Witness Me. Oh! Zihu, over the wall. It's not just Bard that can do that, kids. That's an ADC.
Yeah, Zihu did not want to stick around for that sermon by Witness Me. Absolutely jumping that wall out. As it looks as we continue to watch this posture around Baron, something important to note is, well, Z-Score just flipped over to level 6. It doesn't matter as much for the Karma, but there is that all-important last chapter from 9 Lives available if they're able to find a good corridor to be able to use it in here.
And Zihu and company trying to do a little something with this mid tower as the mid laners shifting down to the bottom lane. Trying to break open this map, get a little more purchase. Otherwise, no real objectives to fight for now that it looks like Firenz is going to get first go at that Herald. It was started up there, I think, by Team Rapid, and the fight got derailed. Witness Me had no World Ender. They chased Zihu away from the fight, and so, as a result, Firenz, again, he's down 20 CS, but able to secure, or at least try to here. Yeah, he was able to grab the Eye of the Herald for his team, and that objective is still about as powerful as it ever was. Mimic looking for an angle here. Witness Me coming down to help out, but still, again, no dice.
Yeah, there's definitely just a lot of posturing right now. Only 1 kill on the board. Feels a little LCK style, respecting each other and not trying to force anything too hard after that bottom lane skirmish, if you will, involving a little bit of everybody from those parties. But at the point we're at now, it's just going to be a question of where do we actually want to put this Herald for the side of Blue Esports. Like we talked about, both bot lanes have shifted mid. We'll have to see if they do another lane swap back after they get these waves kind of evened out, as Deathwalker is just playing dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge here in a game of Dodge the Dark Sphere. I said dodge enough times, I think.
I'd say so, but you said it the appropriate amount of times. If you know, you know.
If you don't know, now you do know.
As was once said in the days of yore. Amen, brother. But yeah, we haven't seen we haven't seen quite the explosive play like you were talking about. There's been a lot of posturing. First couple of neutral objectives have been traded back and forth. Team Rapid got a very, very early first dragon to the point where, yeah, we're going to get a 12-minute second dragon. That means a 7-minute dragon for those you keeping score at home. And since then, the tempo hasn't quite stayed up to where it was. But on the Blue Esports side, we talked about it. The scaling is really, really nice for them. And it's not like on the other side, Team Rapid don't have anything to snowball. But they've opted themselves into. Well said. If you can dodge a Mystic shot, you can dodge a ball. Yeah. No, you feel like you're playing Dance Dance Revolution often into like things like an Ezreal Karma lane. And I was nasty at Dance Dance Revolution. I am not good at playing into those kinds of poke lanes.
I was a pump it up sort of guy, if you know the difference. Shout out to my age there. Still see him. There's the last chapter going out.
Zihu, final chapter out, and a great dodge of the True Shot Barrage. Moonfall not going to quite find anybody. Flashed out just in time. Diesel dropping the Cannon Barrage rather from the top side of the map. The Blue Esports think, all right, that is just enough pressure that has opened the door just enough, and we're going to stick a Shelly-shaped wedge into it, and kablamo. Bunch of gold into our pockets, but on the other side, Mimic securing his team the second Drake of the game.
Matches there had to blow that flash to get away from the Scatter of the Week there from Juke Jouster as they get this, the change in two Heralds, or the Herald versus these two Dragons, keeping the game state pretty even in terms of the gold overall. And this feels like, the first meeting, if you will. I think a lot of teams like to play somewhat conservatively. And when you have like the Victor, Ezreal, as well as the Kindred, you've got this scaling, as well as Karma, who, depending on the route they go, whether it be the Sorelias, Moonstone, Renewer, etc., also gets really great goal value later in the game. And the same things could be said for Blue Esports. So it's almost like they're both willing to say, hey, we don't need to force anything. We just need to get to the 2 or 3 item carry point, and then we can team fight around these objectives. There's no forced really fights around objectives yet. It's just been the steady flow back and forth of jockeying for position, but no 5v5, nothing too crazy yet.
No, nothing too wild just yet, but depending on your definition of wild, Firenz, he has started the build path that echoed in the halls of yore. That What are your thoughts here?
You know, I'm excited. We'll get to see here really soon because the Nashor's first item's pretty like somewhat standardized. Obviously loves that attack speed to get those cleaves off the passive. But if they're able to, opt into something a little bit tankier there, if we see a Bomby Cinder come out as, oh my goodness.
Ooh, Juke Jousher Firen's going right over the W, but here comes Mimic V9, and this is going to go very, very poorly for Firen's, and indeed he goes down. Very well done by the opposing jungler to get in there and bail his team out.
Yeah, I don't even, the Lamps of Spite coming down, able to just shore up any chance of getting bursted out there, and sadly, Firen's did not have the Moonlight. I'm thinking of like Sailor Moon right now. Didn't have the power. Just had to go home. No. Sailor Moon, one of the most broken anime characters in existence.
True. Slept on.
Truly a work of art. 90s pop culture reference. And that's another mark going over to Mimic. I'm not sure where we're at on the overall count for Mimic right now. Marks, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll, yeah, we'll see.
Power Rangers more than Sailor Scouts? Ugh. That's a bad take, production.
That's a take.
Oof. I don't know. I like the OG Power Rangers, like the OOG, the OOG.
OOG.
They were goated. But newer Power Rangers, I don't know, man. I don't know. Watch somebody turn into a 19.
The newfangled Power Rangers.
Yeah, the resident boomer of UPL.
Checking it out the gold here. See, it's more or less even. I mean, there is besides the supports and besides Zeshu, there is a 600 gold difference, 700 gold difference between every other character on the Rift right now. And that's pretty much reflected as to what we've seen here in the gold. Like we've said, it's been a much slower game than I certainly anticipated. Again, just given what we saw in draft. But and again, champions that I was looking to get really going, like the Kindred, like the Aatrox. Hold up, Firen's gonna try this one again. Lamb's Respite not up, and it doesn't matter. Zishu says, all right, let's do it, but this might be a lost cause. Final chapter out, gets absolutely annihilated, and that is a cat without a home, without a purchase to stand on. Witness me. It kills the kitten, and now Rift Herald number 2 will go over to Team Rapid.
We watched our pentakill group fall apart so quickly. True. With 9 lives going down there to witness me, and we just have more action though.
There goes that all in, and the Mercury treads, I think, bailed out Deathwalker there.
Yeah, that was so close. The Chaos Storm able to do a lot of work there with the Gravity Well on top of it. And both mid laners opting into the Luden's Echo. We talked about in draft, what is the itemization choice going to look like if they would try to bridge the gap between burst and sustain damage with the Liandry's Torment. Both opting into what is considered a quote-unquote standardized build for both of these control mages who shine in that 2 to 3 item point. Looks like we do have a Hex Tech Alternator there, so probably getting the Shadow Flame next. But you just saw in that earlier skirmish, though, how much strength is in Mimic with this Kindred. Just sitting on the Kraken Slayer right now, working on a Wit's End more than likely. Just shines in the 1v1. Still up a considerable amount of farm on Firen's.
Yeah, this is looking dicey here all of a sudden. Look, it's only a 2,500 gold lead, but witness me now taking absolutely no prisoners. This might be another one here. Objective bounties are already up. Wow, that's wild. I still don't know exactly what breakpoints they check for that, but a huge tower picked up there by Diesel and just lumps a fat almost 1,000 gold down into the pockets of Blue Esports. This feels like it could be a critical point, especially if they could get a kill here onto Z-Score, and indeed they will. Here comes the teleport. Herald, drop down in response. The Cannon Barrage going to help dissuade anything further. Blue Esports take the lead in the towers and get a crucial pick.
Yeah, just stepping a little too far forward. Juke Jouster reminding everybody why it's called Scatter the Weak and Power Unleashed there. Able to pick up the kill in response. They will trade the towers, tier 1 mid for the tier 1 bot. And honestly, with the objective bounties being up, a lot of that's actually weighted off of having Drakes. So it's not just the gold values alone, it's also the objective power in the game right now. So Team Rapid on Soul Point. Up now just around 2K, 1.6K gold at the moment. If I can do math, ladies and gentlemen, got 10 fingers. Don't need to take off my shoes for that one. But all those things, just hit the trigger to say, yeah, objective bounty time up. They are able to get that mid-tier 1 to help out with it. And it does look like we're not going to get a Sunfire Cape this time. Got the Ruby Crystal, and the Amp Tome there. But Zihu has to be careful. Not the tankiest person in the world, just has the shield bow right now. Not the optimal Zeri play. The 200 years, if you keep track of that at home.
Oh boy, here's another final chapter. Out Z, who's gotten caught out twice, been the victim of a couple of tough plays. Mimic V9 gonna drop down the Lamb's Respite. Z-Score trying to pump up the damage, trying to give his team something to fight with. Matches is low, but still pumping out the damage from the range. And here comes Witness Me and the rest of the Goon Squad, and it's gonna go about the same way as it went before. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Rapid. The lead keeps on growing, and now they got the chase on to Zishu. That's a win, not an if. Cue the Benny Hill music, I guess. But eventually, the Zeri will fall. Maybe he can get a cheeky kill on 2 matches. But it was not meant to be. Team Rapid, little by little, taking the lead in this one.
Now, we saw how much work that Lamb's Respite did just to elongate the trade. Able to get a kill out of it and then wait. As you said, the Goon Squad did show up, and Goon, Diesel, though, needs to be careful. Is slowed down. Does have a Yumi at their side, though. Has the Prowler's Claw and the Essence Reaver done. Needs more crit. It's like more cowbell, only items. Everybody's had that moment in solo queue where you're like, oh, it's just a gangplank. And then you say that in italics as you get hit by that that crit barrel and go home.
Yeah, then you watch half your health disappear, nunny, and then you realize how lethal this thing can be. Yeah, it was an Essence Reaver rush, and then right into, which isn't uncommon, and then right into that Prowler's Claw. Still a really strong item. And credit to Diesel here. He's 1-0-0. Look, he can have a much more global presence because of the nature of his ultimate. So he's had an effect in this game. He was kind of getting blasted early on. That CS gap has actually gotten smaller, believe it or not. Partially, I think, because Witness Me has been spending so much time away from lane. And look, it's been paying off for the guy. He has been a part of 3 kills now. Actually, it's not quite as many as I thought. That's not as high a kill participation as I thought. I feel like Witness Me has been everywhere. But point is, he's been spending a lot more time away from lane, but it's been working out for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Mrs. Gamble, my 3rd grade math teacher, will be happy for me. That's 33% kill participation right now in the game for Witness Me. Thanks, guys. I'll be here all week. But these are big item breakpoints coming through. You can see the tankiness being reflected in buying that Force of Nature second from Witness Me. Wow. It was saying, like, hey, we'll allow you to come back into the game a little bit, Mr. Gangplank, but I'm just going to offer more frontline for what is, honestly, a pretty squishy team in the sense they don't have a true frontline tank. Whereas you can see on the opposite side, it is the Wii U alert. There is a Bomby Cinder in Firen's inventory. So we do have 2 makeshift frontliners in this form of League of Legends. Durability update, doing great things to the meta.
The dream is still alive. Yeah, to your point, Witness Me, like a lot of these kinds of bruisers that have a much earlier power spike, he has accepted his fate. Good self-awareness shown by the top laner for Team Rapid. He's going right into that Force of Nature. And I think just showing, like you said, a little bit of a, I don't know if it's, again, disrespect or what. I wouldn't call it disrespect, but kind of saying, look, Juke Jouster, he's kind of the one I've got to worry about here. Yeah, just disrespecting Diesel, I think, a little bit here as a cannon barrage goes down. And the disengage is had here by Blue Esports, taking little bits where they can get them. But now, here's that all-important soul fight because Team Rapid, sneakily or not so sneakily, depends, I guess, how much you've been paying attention, racked up an incredibly quick dragon stack. Oh, here goes Firen's with the Moonfall, excuse me. Match is able to get out of that, but now it's Soul Point. Here comes the Cloud Drake. Let's see how much power it does, in fact, give him. Juke Jouster with a big shutdown, proving himself to be the win condition. A very small one, albeit, for Blue Esports. Mimic over the wall. Diesel has to flash away, going to get away with his life. The health bar is so tantalizingly, brutally low on both sides, but Team Rapid got what they came for. Despite dropping a member, they got the Cloud Soul.
Yeah, well played from both sides. Blue Esports, you said Benny Hill music earlier. They were able to force Team Rapid to kind of play around them for a minute, able to pick up the tier 2 in mid and just try to elongate this out. They don't end up winning out on delaying the soul, but I think they jockey for a pretty good position, just staying within 2K. As your random friend in solo queue would say, it's just Cloud Soul, it doesn't matter. But the big purple worm does matter, as Team Rapid has started up the Baron.
Yeah, this one is going to hurt. Like you said, the Cloud Soul doesn't give you a lot of capital P power, but there are 0 dragons on the side of Blue Esports. If objective bounties can count them, then I think we should as well. That is absolutely something to consider. And now they're taking no prisoners here, just going right into the jungle of Blue Esports. Diesel going to get lit up here. Absolutely bopped. Deathwalker and Mimic picking up another kill here.
That is a good name for what just happened there, because that was Walking Death from the side of Team Rapid, who just used, okay, now they're just going for more.
Yeah, Z-Score laying down the root. Furin's in some trouble here. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Juke Joxer says, hey guys, don't worry about me. I'm doing great down here. I'm going to pick us up another tower. Meanwhile, his team is getting absolutely mopped, sauced, and tossed.
That sounds like a good name for a restaurant. We just make league-style salads.
Sauced and tossed?
Sauce and Toss Salads Incorporated. The
like
best in Ionia. There we go. Throw it up there with the...
I feel like that's the last region where a restaurant named Sauced and Tossed would go. Ionia is way too straight edge for that. But you know what? Maybe that's the culture shift Ionia needs.
Yeah, you never... I'm just out here building bridges, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to change the culture.
My guy's an idea pitch machine. Riot. Hire him.
But that is the name of the game here right now for the side of Team Rapid, and that is the culture shift of once they've gotten this Baron buff, of how they just use the tempo advantage off that that Drake fight for the soul point, able to get away, lick their wounds, get off the reset, knowing that Blue Esports are going to have to do the same, but that just small difference in timing allow them to get to the Baron, be uncontested, and then start pushing this advantage along the mid and top. Getting down those tier 2s, which are worth so much local gold. I think it's like 540 if my memory serves me right. They just get to line into their pockets on top of the 2 or 3 kills they got there as well. So extending this lead out, now around 5.5k gold in the pockets of Team Rapid, who are just rapid fire, making the movements around the map, trying to catch out maybe an unsuspecting person from Zon.
Yeah, and for what seems like the 1000th time, Zishu has to bail over a wall. They have just been, I feel like I've seen this movie 6 times, Regdor, is catching out Zishu and 9 Lives in the mid lane. Mimic and Deathwalker are so perfectly happy. There goes the Shirelias to just sit in the mid bush and wait for a pick, like you said.
Because the timers are kind of gone now. We've gotten to the point, 3 items on the Ezreal. As well as almost 3 items. Looking for the death cap there from Deathwalker. He would like to be a wizard. And once all that's said and done, to the opposite side, down almost a full item for Juke Jouster, and not hitting that 3-item breakpoint yet for Zihu, who really needs the IE to be able to start taking these elongated fights. We've seen him get the ultimate, get excited, and not able to do much as the World Ender is being witnessed currently.
Whoa, witness me. Got a big bite taken out of him, but only 1 barrel was all that Diesel was able to line up. Matches there for the cleanup.
And now we can see like 3 or 4 members topside from Team Rapid. So Blue Esports doing what they can, trying to get this bot wave pushed out and generate some sort of pressure. But if you look at the mini-map, I don't know if you can see there on the red side, red buff side for Team Blue, that is a lot of vision laid down there. So plenty of room for them to work with as they go in. And hopefully after they get this bot lane pushed out, we will have an Elder Drake. In just about a minute, which could just flip the entire game. If you're a fan of McDonald's, it could be a big burger flip. But it could just seal the fate for Blue Esports if they're not able to kind of find this much-needed team fight.
Yeah, Baron's up in 2 minutes, so it's not even if Team Rapid do take this fight without the Baron buff, it might be tough to end. I don't know if the respawn timers are all quite there, but it would be the last nail in the coffin. The game would be all but over. I mean, objective bounties have been up for what feels like an eternity. All these Mercury treads preventing all the CC from Scatter the Weak from really wreaking its full potential here. Mimic, put down some damage, walk away. He's on a big 3rd item as well. Lord Dominic's regards. Gonna take that right into, I guess it's really just the Sunfire Cape. that you're getting value into from that. Juke Jouster. Oh, the W actually got to yank it. I didn't think it would. Witness me. Now it's going whole hog into the back line, but not before 9 lives. Able to ward him off with the final chapter. Posturing around this Elder Dragon pit. If it doesn't decide the game, it will do everything but that. Big fight coming up here. Team Rapid perfectly happy to have Deathwalker lay down the lasers, lay down the gravity fields, create that space, and set up a favorable fight. Juke Jouster hits another great scatter of the week, but the damage just isn't enough. He's doing his darndest. He can't do much. Phineas goes in, and he's got absolutely no support. He's going to be hung out to dry. Dies in the blink of an eye. Mimic, maybe just out of pity, extended his life with the Lamb's Respite, but Zishu completely fragmented. There's a wet noodle fight going on in the mid lane. This one is all but over. I don't see a way that Blue Esports can win a fight here. Actually, well, just as I say that, there's not a lot of health on that side. Gosh, there's just so much burst damage, though. It doesn't matter. Mimic does go down, and this extended team fight might not be over just yet, Regdor. I want to give you a leg in here, I promise. I don't like the sound of my own voice that much. Juke Jouster, he did not actually go down in that fight. Looking for something else, but the Elder Drake didn't go down, so Team Rapid not getting everything they wanted.
That was like, I was on the edge of my seat there because we almost had the Zeri pop-off moment. So many low health bars, but because Diesel was able to take out Mimic, this does extend it out. When you have 1 smite versus 0 smites, it's not really a smite fight. So the side of Team Rapid is going to have to stave off Blue Esports for a little bit longer. Zehu, though, has the Infinity Edge, has the perfection there now on these 3 items. As everybody kind of licks their wounds and resets, you see ultimates are going to be back up. Some key things here will be the World Ender from Witness Me with this build. Death Stance, really great item to have on him to be able to just tank up. And as we saw, push 2 members of Blue Esports out of the river completely, and which really left Fearins all on their own in that engage last time.
Death Taxes and Team Rapid planning a Death Brush. Holy guacamole! Deathwalker deletes Zishu from the map. Fearins grabbed himself another stopwatch to try that 1 smite advantage, like you were saying, but it's Team Rapid that, true to their name, in the blink of an eye, wipe Blue Esports off the map. Let's see if they do the formalities of setting up any sort of Elder take. I think they're just going to go for the end here.
Yeah, no, they decided to not be an Elder. They decided to just end the game while they're still young here. That was, as an ADC player, that feeling right there, it hit me personally. To be setting up for an objective, you just got your 3rd item, you're happy and raring to go, but instead you just get blown up in 0.2 seconds, as we will see the Nexus fall here in the first game.
That game felt close until it wasn't. But I think maybe that line of thinking betrayed the little advantages that Team Rapid were getting. Because it felt like every time I looked up, it was like, okay, the Goldie doesn't seem like it's that big. You know, maybe the numbers don't tell the full story, but every skirmish that broke out, I didn't give Blue Esports a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, no, it's so wild because of those early Drakes and how they were able to create like this invisible pressure that they were just putting the game on a timer for Blue Esports, and then it started to just kind of like crack itself open, where it felt like Blue had to try to make a play, had to try to make something happen to get this game going. But they were never able to truly kind of get in. And if I was going to, give any pointers from my point of view, is that there needs to be, I guess, a little bit more engage. Your only real form of engage was Fearins going in, and did it plenty of times. Was able to get the combo, the Moonfall, but there wasn't able to find any real follow-up to it to be meaningful. So maybe draft a little bit more engage, maybe a little bit more early game agency to say, we're going to take control of the tempo of the game and not allow you just to stack these Drakes so quickly. And maybe that's through the bot side. Maybe finding something like a Samira. I don't know. Something like that. I'm just a Samira fan. Maybe Kai'Sa. I am a local Kai'Sa salesman. To just give, like I said, a little bit more of that early lane agency to maybe push for these objectives and have a little bit more skirmishing power to where, Rapid doesn't get to rapidly take dragons on respawn.
Yeah, they're just on cooldown. They were stacking those up. I think you nailed it. The invisible pressure that they were able to provide. And poor Fearins, like you said, he was the only go button. But I think, to me, similar to what you were saying, the theme that I got was just disjointed, right? It felt like there were a lot of engages, like you said, where he might have been able to get something off, but like I don't know, Juke Jouster already blew his all in, right? His ER was already down, right? And Deathwalker says, all right, thank you very much. Here's a gravity wall, and just turbos you with damage, right? So, the execution on that early game threat, because Syndra Diana, look, it's not maybe quite what it used to be with the durability patch, but it certainly felt like they should have gotten more out of that. That was my take.
No, absolutely. And I mean, huge shout out to Mimic as a last piece, because every one of the great engages you saw, Lamb's Respite just said, no, you're not getting a pick off of this. Actually, in turn, we're going to kill you and get healed off of it at the same time. Between that and Witness Me making a big statement on that Aatrox thus far. But there's a lot of tools to work with. I think there's a lot of ways for Team Blue to come into game 2. Most likely, I would guess, maybe a swap of sides, maybe get that all-important counter pick on the red side, and we could see a 3-game series out of this easily.
Yeah, they certainly got the talent to do it, and it felt like you said, in the early game, it was small margins that eventually Rapid, you give them credit where credit is due. They took those small margins and built a crazy, borderline disrespectful lead by the end of it. But we're going to take it to a quick break. When the Unified Prestige League returns, it will still be Team Blue, or Blue Esports versus Team Rapid. There we go. Maybe I'll get that right one day. Game 2 coming at you when we come back. What's cracking in chiropractic summoners? We're back for game 2. Blue Esports, Team Rapid, getting ready for the second game in this series in some Ocean Division action on this Friday night on the Unified Prestige League. Hi, everybody. 4x4 here with Regdor. Back at you for game 2. And if it's half as explosive as game 1 was in the second half, anyway, we should be in for another good one because, like we were talking about, even though by the end of it, it got pretty stompy, it got pretty one-sided, it's not like Blue Esports didn't have a way into the game, and it's not like they weren't punching back and counter-punching, right, through the first 15 or 20 minutes.
No, it's exactly that. It was the jockeying for position, something more akin to, like we were talking about, the LCK style, where it was like the Bruce Lee quote of, like, be like water. You put water in a cup, it makes the shape of the cup. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, guys, Google that. I don't got the whole thing. But they were just not forcing anywhere. They were just kind of taking each piece and position as it kind of came. And it was just that bot side strength, that early dragon stacking that really put Blue Esports on a timer. And because of that, I would look. We do have it confirmed that it will be Team Blue on the red side, which feels like almost sacrilegious, right? You would think they'd be like 100% blue side gamers. But they are on the red side. So that gives them the chance to choose, like we saw, that R1, R2 kind of combo to go ahead and synthesize something very early on to say, hey, this is how we're going to kind of play, especially the bot lane. Maybe have some early skirmishing power there. Maybe get rid of the Syndra. Champion not in the best position. Could be comfort. All about that life. Get your Snuggie on the Rift. But have something a little bit more skirmish heavy to create some early game agency and just say, we're going to force action to happen. We're going to be like water in the sense that we're going to crash down on you in the Ocean Division.
There it is.
And put you on the timer.
There it is. I amen. Retweet, +1 upvote, all that. I think that's got to be the game plan. Hashtag, that's got to be the game plan for Blue Esports. Yeah, hit the bell as well, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Because like you said, there was a lot of, like you said, it was good pressure absorption by Blue Esports, but they had no way to contest anything in the bottom side. And that's a shame because with a pick like Diana and a pick that can steamroll like that. Now, Kindred really, really strong too, so let's give credit to Mimic here, and we gave him his flowers at the end of game 1. But like you said, if you've got R1, R2, like, Kallista's a thing now. I don't adore that champion, but like Kalista Nautilus is a thing. Like it's not like you have to sack bot, at least not to the degree they did with Zerayumi.
Yeah, no, and that's why I keep on Kai'Sa Stan here present. Kai'Sa, amazingly great champion that does well with Nautilus and can force those things early. Is one of those few champions where you feel like the longsword 3 pots start is still good on and just start taking those heavy trades. Would love to see a ban of the Kindred though, because it was so problematic. And I think if you took away the Kindred in that game, if it was any other insert AD jungler here, there was a lot more kills that Fearon gets and is able to start getting on that role. We saw they have the pathing and the instinct to make plays happen, but just damage was lacking just a little bit. The burst was a little bit slower. Again, with his durability changes, everybody's kill timers are maybe not in the same spot. But there is the respect meta ban of the Zeri instead coming through. So Kindred still available, still a person.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Rapid first picked it, honestly. And Mimic was absolutely the MVP of that game, especially in the early going. But what has 2 thumbs? Both of them are opposable and is also a good B1 pick? Wukong.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I'm sorry, I had to math it up real quick. Yeah, I was like, these are opposable, right? I've got analog thumbs. I don't know. That's the boomer in me. But yeah, the Wukong.
Thumb. That's what I've got.
Oh, wow. That's an angle and a half right there. Somebody get out the protractor. That's at least 25 degrees. But talking about degrees, we have the Seraphine, multi-versatile mid laner, ADC, support. She can play any role you want. She has 1 skin that's actually 3, and that's all I've got to say about that.
And now she's got a prestige skin. Seraphine is crazy. I mean, if you don't want to go Ezreal Karma, you don't want to go, these, one type of poke lane, there's still so many more for you. We've seen support fall in the priority order because there's just so many that you can take. You can take a good support and build a good bot lane kind of anywhere. Furin's going with another early game powerhouse jungler here in the Volibear, though. That's what he'll be piloting this time around.
I love flex picks. Flex picks are the coolest thing in the world because you think it's one thing, but then it's another. It's like a transformer, right? And both these picks, technically, very flexible, can be played in the mid lane, can be played in the top lane for the Volibear as well. We have seen some YouTube personalities sensationalizing this crazy AP split push build on the Volibear. If you know wave management, it's a good thing. If you don't, you're just running it down. But the line between the two is so small.
It really can be. It really can be.
But we do see the Ezreal Karma pick back up. We're going to have to see, is Blue Esports going to opt into something a little bit different here? They did ban out the Zeri, so no scary Zeri in the game. But maybe we can get something with a little pizzazz, a little, what was that word? That's something with a little, a little chutzpah.
A chutzpah.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting here. You've got a little glacial synergy going with the Volibear Ashe, but I'm surprised by it, and I'm more surprised, honestly, that, well, I don't know. I mean, Team Rapid did get their hands on the Wukong, and I guess that Blue Esports think that that's going top because they threw down a Kindred ban.
That's a decision. That's the fun part. It's the fun part of it all is because you don't kind of know, and like one of my good caster friends would say is like your draft is very obfuscated right now because you don't actually know where things are going to be, and that's the great part of being in these first 3 picks is that you still have that ability to say we're going to lock it in elsewhere, we're going to make different decisions to mold to it. I do think Ashe is an interesting choice. Saw some different style builds out of her. One of them's like taking a second item, Blade of the Rune King, and just really smashing lane with that. The slows, though, really do synergize well with Seraphine, where she can get the root without needing the double cast. So you have a little bit more of an all-in threat if she's able to E into the double cast Q on top of the Ashe. So there's a little bit more early skirmishing power if they do choose to bring Seraphine down to the support position. With the Shyvana taken out, though, as well. Shyvana is another one of those that's been creeping up like Udyr, these power farm crazy champions that get on top of you and never leave.
Yeah, this ain't TFT, but the Shyvana priority is high. And the Aatrox taken away as well by Blue Esports. Belveth, that's a hover, ladies and gentlemen. I think she'll be disabled till week 4, if I'm not mistaken. Would be spicy, though.
I got super excited, even though I knew they couldn't lock it in.
There was still that part of me was like, oh, no. Instead, it'll be Camille. All right, that's for sure going in the top lane. But that was the Aatrox taken away there. Witness me put on an absolute clinic on that champion. He was horrifying. When Gore Drinker right into full tank, he was absolutely unkillable. And now the draft started to take shape because, like you pointed out, the first 2 picks on either side, all flex picks. Right, like you said, very obfuscated. Fantastic SAT word, my friend.
Oh, thanks. I took one of those once. It was a while ago. It was on paper, right? Is it still on paper? I don't know anymore.
That's pretty good.
There's the Gwen. There's the Gwen.
Oh.
Is it the Gwen maybe mid lane? Question mark? No, that's the Gwen jungle. It is the Volibear top. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness! Wow, how good's your wave management, Diesel? All right.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Oh, I mean, you don't have to have wave management if there isn't a wave there to manage. You know what I mean? You just always be crashing. ABCs, baby, always be crashing in the top lane. But really good. Like we said, flex picks here. We do have the Gangplank mid into the Azir, which is a interesting matchup. I don't know how it's supposed to go if it was 2 AIs.
And I don't think anyone blames you for that.
Yeah, no, somebody at home right now is like, why didn't Regnor know this super specific matchup?
It's like, who are these casters? Yeah, okay. I'm interested to see some of these interactions. Yeah, soldiers, barrels, right? We'll see. Jungle Gwen, also not something that we have seen in a while. Yeah, Gwen and Wukong, these kind of topside flexes that, as of late, have just purely gone in the top lane, but still definitely a possibility. Again, I'm looking for explosiveness on the top side, and maybe I am hoping for a little spicier build on the bottom side from the Ashe, which is also a support. Oh, the fun doesn't end.
Okay, so listen, I gotta say, support Ashe ARAM slaps.
Yeah,
like that would be our number one combo at the sauced and tossed thing is going to be like ARAM Ashe salad. But in an actual game, it feels really, really weird because I think Seraphine does so much better in the supportive style. Even if she's playing as the ADC and she is farming, can do so much with Moonstone Renewer and is able to just get these multi-proc casts off, especially if she puts that second max into her W. Just creates a sustainment nightmare when you have a Volibear and a Gwen as well, where it's like, yeah, you can do all the damage in the world, knock up, displace, besides the true damage triple Q from Camille. It can do a lot, but I don't know. This bot lane's going to be wild.
This is going to be a ton of fun. Amateur League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen, it delivers. Yeah, this one should be good. Doran's Ring start here, and then into the Spectral Sickle. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what you would go out as soon as I said it. I'm like, actually, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you're like, wait, that's an item. That's correct.
I'm just like literally like it's been so long since I've seen that on anyone but Senna that my mind kind of like freaked out a little bit. And I was like, no, forward, calm down. It's okay. You're okay.
You're like, it's like the Black Spear for Callista. You're like, wait, that's the Senna item. Why does Ashe have the Senna item? It doesn't. So I did a quick Googling. I Googled Azir into Gangplank. So Diamond 2 Plus, there's been 24 total matches of Azir versus Gangplank.
Yeah.
Huge sample size, 66% win rate towards the Azir. So I don't know if these guys equal the 24 matches that have happened, and they're just like, hey, we're going to run it back here in a team game. But who knows how it's actually supposed to go, because the 5 people that have played this matchup aren't here right now. So
no,
interesting stuff nonetheless.
Yeah, and I imagine that if it's anything like my games, the GP mid is usually accompanied by a trust me, guys, I got this. No, trust me, I saw the YouTube video. Like, trust me, and then an ally has been slain. Like, so often.
That sounds pretty on brand for the solo queue experience. But Juke Jouster's not in solo queue. Has 4 other people with him here today. But the fun thing about Deathwalker is he has extra people in the lane. He has the Sand Soldiers that can indeed apparently get rid of barrels. So it's a fun mini game to get to play. I love doing it as an ADC.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean that's a huge advantage, because in the top lane, so many of those matchups are melee. If you're putting yourself in a position to wipe away those barrels, you are putting yourself in danger. Not the case for the Emperor of Shurima. Yeah, off that alone, that's got to feel really, really good here. Mimic and Fearens on the Wukong and the Gwen. And as we mentioned, starting on opposite sides of the map here. And Deathwalker, yeah, he's got a nice little push here. He's opting to challenge Fearens up here in the jungle, make his presence felt down there on the minimap. Let's see.
Yeah, it's always interesting what mid laners are gonna do when they have the push. You never know, and opting to try to just get a little bit more information down, understand the pathing, because Gwen is pathing down to the bot side. I think it's super important here for some of the early pressure to go towards the bot side of the map. Try to set up this Ashe Seraphine combo for success. Seraphine specifically needs to have a good back timer, or else they get really starved out, as Juke Jouster is getting not starved, he's getting a full helping of pain from these Sand Soldiers right now.
Yeah, he is feeling the hurt. He went that Corrupting Pot start, whereas Deathwalker said Doran's Ring, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that attention up to the bottom lane, because that's something we talked about. Game to game, we wanted to see more from this Blue Esports bottom lane. Z-Score not able to find the Q, but able to get the Ignite, or the root down, cleanses off the Ignite, does matches, and now with one more auto, that should do it. Z-Score picking up first blood, and do they have more in them? Zihu, oh, very nice shield for himself. How about matches? Picking up one as well. Not the start that the Blue Esports bottom lane wanted.
Oh, definitely more aggressive, just aggressive to the gray screen in that case. Not a whole lot of early damage, especially for support Ashe. And it's not going to get any better because we do have just 2 tiers
Yep.
on the map for him. Also, didn't notice that till just now. Zihu had the TP, teleporting back to lane to make sure they can recoup most of the wave, as opposed to just losing it altogether. But this is definitely going to be interesting because it feels like we're not playing League of Legends left to right. We're playing diagonally. It is indeed a support Ashe, a GP mid, Gwyn jungle. Metas be damned. We're out here.
Yeah, it's a 52 card pickup all over again. We really and truly out here, as you said. Witness Me's got to level up on Diesel, but Diesel just doesn't seem to give a rip about that. Gives Witness Me a bear claw to the dome. Yeah, he's got that Doran's Blade Doran shield start, so maybe not quite that hard AP build just yet, but knowing that, yeah, Diesel, Volibear's got so much early dueling power, and he's got such nice scaling early on as well. This is a common start that you like to see, but Witness Me going with the Sheen, Mimic showing up to the bottom side. We're going to just get a flash out of Zihu, which honestly, you'll take that.
Yeah, I was going to say, just a flash? No, that's amazing, right? Yeah. The immobile carry and now flashless is going to have to play very respectfully as Z-Score, like we were talking about off the air for a second, played like a maniac on this Karma before, just what you love to see. They're taking the bad rap of this being a slow scaling chill lane and saying, no, we're just going to play like psychos in the enemy's face and find these advantages early on. 2 kills to their credit already. And Sheen tier. This is exactly where Ezreal wants to be. Matches on tempo to be able to get to these power spikes a lot earlier on.
Yeah, we've got 3 Sheens on the side of Team Rapid, 2 tiers and a Sheen on the side of Blue Esports. The items, it's all coming up blue, but not for the team. Hey, that wasn't my best work. That's okay. Witness Me. He's level 6. Wave is in a bit of an awkward spot for him to try to potentially all-in Diesel there, and Diesel definitely getting the better of him on these early trades. Even though Witness Me does have that Sheen, now Diesel, level 6. Haven't really seen much from the junglers yet, but that Volibear level 6 power spike is huge. There goes the cannon barrage. I was looking up towards the top lane to see who it was. No, it was Juke Joukster. Diagonal League of Legends coming back once again, and Zishu getting a much-needed kill off that play.
Yeah, and that's just wonderful setup, utilizing the global capacity of the Gangplank to be able to pillage and plunder all across the Rift. That's another good salad name. Write that one down, the Pillage and Plunder. We're getting there. Yeah. I'm just not going to let this die. Speaking of not letting this die, I'm going to go up and support Fearens here on this Drake. Hextech does do a bit of the pain train. If you didn't know, now you do know. Able to pick up the first Drake of the game, though, and that is to Blue Esports, right? That is what we talked about as one of the tools of success, is not allowing Team Rapid to set the pace of the game with Drake stacking, and they've already got off to a good start.
Yep, they are feeling good. Excuse me. Yeah, Team Rapid, they've got themselves those first 2 kills, but yeah, you credit Fearens, thank goodness, getting themselves a little more counter pressure in the jungle. That was, again, something that we wanted to see. And it came off, like we said, some pressure from the bottom lane, and Fearens just kind of taking matters into his own hands. Yeah, that's the trickier part about Diana, right? You focus so hard about hitting level 6 that early on, like, you just tunnel vision on doing nothing but farming. And yeah, that's kind of what you got to do. But Fearens giving himself a little more agency with this pick, set up a very nice gank, and Zishu and 9 Lives took advantage. And yeah, it's like that old League of Legends saying, right? It's one thing to get kills, it's another thing to do something with it, right? You win the team fight, you win the skirmish, yes. What do you do after the fact? Blue Esports, nice little counter punch to keep themselves in this one right now.
And Diesel up here on the top side, going all in, hits the ultimate Hextech ultimatum.
Yeah, that is so much damage. Hextech ultimatum not going to do anything. My goodness, Volibear. He's coming back with, yeah, it's a little bit of a Trash Panda build. He comes back with boots and a cloth armor. Maybe one day he'll get a completed item, but not anytime soon.
You know, he went to the store and thought when it said starter items across the top, you had to buy all of those first. Because he has definitely got all of them on the board. Where's the mana potion? Bring back mana potions, I pray.
Wow, that's a deep cut. Man, that's when they were like they're not even rectangular. They were like there was like the base was like a pyramid, right? It was like a pyramid and then like a tube. That was the shape of the mana.
Yeah, that's my favorite type of shape is the pyramid shape.
It has much more like D&D vibes. It looks like a vial, right? Very like fantasy RPG vibes. Yeah, not so much. League of Legends has gone way away from what it originally was, and obviously no one's complaining about it. It's the biggest esport in the world. So clearly they're doing something right here. Speaking of doing something right, Hex Drinker. Bought immediately by Juke Joukster. I like that build. I think Maw is crazy right now, and this is I was going to say it's a rough lane for him, and it kind of has been so far, but to his credit, he's been keeping up in CS as well.
Definitely using those barrel combos really well. Witness me getting hit by a bear slap combo.
Lord in heaven, yeah, and he came back with the upgraded boots. That's what he's going to go into first, and now he's got a Sheen, and now this bear is scary.
Absolutely. Volibear has been like kind of a pick to watch. I think has been opted more for in the jungle, but we love seeing the bear top lane. I was asking you guys earlier of like, would you rather fight in League of Legends, not the lore, but on the Rift? Would you rather fight one Volibear-sized Tristana or 100 Tristana-sized Volibears? And if it's Diesel's Volibear, I want nothing to do with either.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it has been absolutely monstrous. The dueling power is incredible, and like you said, if it keeps up being like this, you're going to see him a lot more in the top lane. Because Diesel, he got his salad tossed in the top lane last match, but he has been coming up aces. It's surprising, and I think a bit of a credit to Witness Me as well, to give credit where credit is due, that he hasn't just straight up gotten all in, because it has certainly felt that one-sided. Now Diesel may be looking for more, but Mimic showing up here. Diesel just trying to finish off Witness Me before Mimic shows up. There goes the W. Witness Me not going to have time to pop his ultimate. Diesel takes a bite out of him, doesn't even let him play the video game League of Legends, picks up a kill.
Yeah, amazing use of the global ultimate. Again, we're seeing so much value out of the Gangplank being mid. Well, not just being like, but being in the game by having that cannon barrage available and being in the right place at the right time. And it's almost like the 300 IQ play from Blue Esports here. The kill goes to Juke Joukster in the mid lane. Diesel gets some tower plates and everybody's happy. But now Mimic's going to say, we're going to try this again with the TP coming in from Witness Me as well.
Yeah, there goes Witness Me. Diesel has to flash away. Mimic, excuse me, got the double Cyclone, but Witness Me just not close enough to close the gap and lay down that Hextech ultimatum. But it does relieve some pressure. And again, you get that flash out of Diesel. And he's going to be down TP, so I think Wave's going to come crashing in here. But he's up 15 CS. I don't think he's too upset about that.
No, and got some tower plates out of the play as well. Like, that's muy gusto benefit. Guys, I failed Spanish in high school. I'm sorry. That's the best I got. But on the bottom side of the map is the Ionian Boots galore here and the Lost Chapter. So we are getting what is the AP version of the wonderful Seraphine here. Has access to the Encore. That and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow put together is a ton of CC, a long time to not be allowed to play League of Legends in this game, which gives a lot of setup for, I believe, Fearon's, if he decides to come back down towards the bot side. Because we do have the second Drake of the game up. Unlike last game, it's not killed on spawn. It got some time to vibe out.
Yeah, it's got some time to bool down in there in the river. It will be... Ooh, Herald was taken up there. And so Fearon's going to drop that. Yeah, way back. Almost by the red side tier 1. It seemed like I play a lot of jungle. We've all been there. One of those Herald plays where it almost just like falls out of your pocket. But hey, first tower going over to, and with a lot of turret plates, over to Blue Esports. Oh, back on the GP Azir Soldier interaction back in 722. There was a bug where Azir Soldiers could not deal damage to GP barrels. So, Gangplank Truthers, that was your window. That was your window to abuse this matchup. Diesel doesn't have his ultimate up quite yet, but it's going to be up in about 2 seconds with the help of Shelly. There it is, immediately disables the tower. Witness Me answers back with a tower of his own, though. And Diesel, I don't know if he was intentionally trying to dance, or if he was just canceling a bunch of autos. Either way, it goes tragically for him.
That's a feels bad moment where you think you've walked out of the tower range, but you're actually still in it. The Uno reverse card coming down. Again, damage on towers is buffed. On patch 12.10. Tier 1's got, knocked down a little bit. They were hurting a little too hard. But Fearin's, no fear, taking the red buff right in Mimic's face.
Man, oh man, that feels brutal. Yeah, that is super, super tough. Team Rapid get a much-needed kill back in this top lane. Gonna relieve some pressure. But both top laners now on their mythic item. Junglers, not quite there yet.
And we still have the slow burn from Juke Jouster. Has the Hex Drinker as well as an Enchanted Crystal Arrow going somewhere in this world.
Oh, nailed it! Very well done. Here comes a Cannon Barrage as well. No Azir soldiers to summon, but the CC just doesn't last long enough. Brutal. He's able to Shurima shuffle Juke Jouster out of tower range and into safety for Deathwalker.
But man, call him Chris Kyle, 9 lives with the American Sniper into the mid lane there. That was a beautiful thing. If that's what we're going to get out of our beautiful ARAM Ashe, I'll take it all day. Love me some cross map.
That was absolutely electric. I couldn't believe he hit that. That just seemed like a prayer. I mean, what, support Ashe? Or, in 2016 Worlds, was it support Ashe or support MF? It was support MF.
Yeah. KT Rolster. Yeah. I saw that on YouTube once.
Yeah, for all you League of Legends esports boomers out there. Yeah, that was 6 years ago, just by the by. Or was it 5? Or was it 7? I don't know.
You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. Just reminded me how old I am live on cast. I'm going to have an existential crisis here.
It was support MF, made famous by Gorilla. Yep, Prey and Gorilla. Man, Prey and Gorilla for me, they go in kind of that same book as Khan, like 2 of the best to ever do it that just never won the big one. Man, but I'll get off that soapbox for now because right now, we've got a pretty good game here in front of us. Blue Esports down a kill but up a tower and 2,500 gold. There's your math. But Team Rapid, they won game 1 and they've got good scaling on their side. Fantastic scaling, actually. Diesel probably going to fall off at some point, but he's got the Trinity Force. He's not going straight tank just yet. Still knows he's got a bit of a window into this game to put the hurt down. But witness me, he was fed a kill back on a silver platter. He was spoon-fed that one. Let's see what he's able to do with it.
And if I was a betting man, I'm going to guess the next item that's going to come out for Diesel is going to be this fun little thing called Hullbreaker. The saddest day in League of Legends is when they took away the little pirate hats from the minions. That made me really sad.
Yeah.
Bring back pirate hats, please.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he certainly could. I like forgot how to operate a Hullbreaker. Another great ult. The CC layering is lethal. 9 lives, picking up his first kill of the game. The Seraphine Ashe bot lane picking up another one.
Yeah, and that is the don't play the game combination that we were kind of talking about there. Fun story, as we do see the Hextech Ultimatum come down.
Witness me, and he's got so much damage. Diesel's in trouble. Mimic getting down the CC. Fearin's has shown up, and he just bailed out Diesel. I can't believe it. True Shot Barrage is going to find him. No, Diesel able to sidestep it. Fearin's is immune for now, but Witness Me says that's fine. I will go into your turf, my friend. Mimic flashes out. Witness Me picks up another kill.
Woo! And it is spicy on the top side of the map. The Hextech Ultimatum plus the Q2 from Witness Me, able to do so much. You see that damage that just comes out. It's like a Cho'Gath ultimate on a basic ability, as some might say, and doing so much work of uncontesting the side lane. That was a Emperor's Divide, not dividing much there. Cannot divide by 0.
Woo! That was good. And these Ashe arrows coming in off cooldown too. A couple of ults that didn't really do anything, but 9 lives are going to have that one back up in 2 seconds flat. And the time it took me to get this run on set inside of my mouth, half the cooldown is gone. And that's what you get with this build. He went right into that Caulfield's Warhammer, get himself some ability haste, the CDR boots as well. But on the other side, Team Rapid, they're responding with a dragon of their own. Blue Esports up in this one, and rightfully so. They have played this game very, very well. But Team Rapid creeping back into this one. They want to go to bed, Regdor. They want the 2-0.
No, absolutely. You got to have your gamer rest to be at your gamer best. But Blue Esports would like to make it an all-night banger instead to get to that game 3. But we saw like Team Rapid saying, hey, we want to get back on track with the TPN. And while the Shurima shuffle did not do much in terms of kills, it created that pressure so they can take that next objective uncontested. And now sitting on these 2 Drakes. Looks like we have another Cloud Soul. Kind of sad. Love the Hextech Souls. Yeah. And Juke Jouster now just doing a little bit of pressure in as we get the second Herald of the game on the top side. 1 hit from Shelly. We'll take down this tier 2. Nice, tasty gold in the pocket of Blue Esports there.
Yummy, yummy. Able to knock down that top tier 2. Diesel. Yeah, he doesn't want the smoke all of a sudden. Witness me feeling a little more confident. Got that Tiamat in the inventory. Yeah, they're both sitting on essentially the same amount of power, effective power anyway, 1.5 items. Meanwhile, Farron's got the Riftmaker online. That's going to be really scary as well. The scaling, a little more on the side of Team Rapid, but it's not like Blue Esports don't have options in the late game, even though you're starting to see Diesel starting to fall off a little bit, especially in this 1v1. Witness me. Like you said, that Q is going to do so much work. Yeah, let's see if he does go into that Hull Breaker. Eventually, he's going to have to do that pretty quick here, so maybe not. But, 9 lives. Oh, man, now this looks like, oh, yeah, Ash Arrow into the top lane. Where have we seen that one before? Ooh, I get chills every time I think about it. But not going to find anything. Yeah, poor Deathwalker. He's just been an Ash Arrow magnet up there.
Just not allowed to kind of have fun, right? You got to send out the warning pings, hopefully not get hit by it. Yeah. And again, you already see the CDR early. This is going to be the weird part. They don't have a traditional ADC because the Ashe is support. So it's going to change the name of the game and how they have to play these team fights. Oh my gosh, barrels do a lot of damage from Juke Jouster here.
Yeah, there's their win condition. Blue Esports, Juke Jouster playing this one pretty well so far, and they're able to get themselves a tier 1. Wow. I looked up at the scoreboard and I saw a 4-0 in terms of the towers in favor of Blue Esports. They're up 5k gold. Just death by 1,000 cuts, similar to what Team Rapid did to them last game.
Yeah, we saw like these flashes of brilliance from Blue Esports in game 1, doing the Benny Hill style chase and forcing down tier 2s here and there. But now they have a lot more of the agency with just the nature of how much poke they can push out from this bot lane, as Juke Jouster may be in the wrong part of town here.
Ooh, yeah, Mimic. Laying down a lot of damage, and most importantly, that double Cyclone. Oh my goodness, Juke Jouster, stop it! Stop it, you! He's gonna take 2. You're not trapped in here with me. The other one, I screwed up. I can never get it right on.
Call an ambulance, but not for me?
Yeah, exactly. That was wild.
Eventually, the Wee Woo Mobile did get to Juke Jouster, but not before taking down 2 in the process. And now, based off that fight, they just said, we're going to take the big purple worm. We deserve it.
Yeah, Mimic is down. As you so eloquently put it, my friend, 1 smite is better than 0. But here come the TPs. The health bars are low. 9 lives able to stun Deathwalker out of the fight. Witness me. Gonna get out of the way of the Encore. But the big purple worm doesn't like it when you trespass on his turf. He's laying down the damage as well. Witness me and Deathwalker show up and mop up the West of Blue Esports. Absolutely tragic take for the team on the red side.
Yeah, Vision wins games. Now does Juke Jouster after putting on a blockbuster presentation there. Can he get it? He's gonna go to space real quick. 2k left on it. I think they're just gonna walk away as it does heal back up. Yeah, just not sweeping out the pit. That TP right next to them from Deathwalker. Now 4-0 on the Emperor of Shurima here, doing work.
Yeah, and then yep, there's that Demonic Embrace. Demonic Embrace, crazy item. Crazy item right now. I heard Amumu's getting some buffs in 12-12. I am stoked about that. He's getting yep, I'm an Amumu truther since day 1. I was so excited when he was like supposed to be like played at Worlds last year, and then he was just cheeks. He was so,
well, you know what?
He went like 1-6, and I was like, man, like, a part of me was sad because I want to see Amumu do well, but a part of me was happy because I'm like, they'll leave him alone, right? If he doesn't just like go turbo at Worlds, then they're not going to nerf him, and that's a good thing in the long run. The Dragon started up here. Mimic looking for an angle. Z-Score having a huge chunk of health taken out of him. Arrow's not going to find anyone. Just kidding. It did find somebody. I think it found Diesel there. Viren's over the wall, but he might be in trouble here. Over the wall he goes. Deathwalker picking up another kill. Oh my goodness, those barrels do so much. Mimic, does he have the angle for the smite? Nice sidestep of the beat drop there. He could have been in trouble if Seraphine caught him in that one, but it's 3-1 in the Dragon department for Team Rapid.
Yeah, once again, just finding the angles, and I feel like they've listened to some part of the cast, but maybe it's just good League of Legends at the same time. No jungler equals no smite fight, and they saw the blood in the water, went over the wall to take down Gwen. No hollowed mist is going to save you from that when they're in your personal space. But I will say that, just as a side note, out of 6 games of Amumu, I have to go back to it. Like, 5 of those were Vulcan, so like, how much can we really talk about it, you know?
Yeah, Vulcan catching strays on the stream.
Yeah. Sorry, Vulcan. Love and appreciate you. But it just, you know, it just didn't fit. I don't like Amumu support. Don't take anything
I don't
off
like him
of
support
his,
either.
Yeah, don't take anything off of his Q mana, as talk about catching strays. You know,
seriously.
9 lives at this point, the Hawk Shot and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow are basically the same thing. Just use them to find some vision. Why not?
Yeah, just throwing him out there willy-nilly, and he's not even level 11 yet. That cooldown's going to get even shorter. That's wild. Witness me, Mercy! Took half of Diesel's health away. The man has Asterix. What are we doing?
Crying at what is Camille. Witness me just walking down this lane like a boss. The razor-legged lady is ready to tussle, has the Hextech ultimatum available whenever they please. But just going to jockey for some position here, as it feels like it's going to come down to an objective fight. We've seen so much power back and forth. Barrels go a little wide here. Z-Score fearlessly walking up towards Juke Jouster.
Z-Score, I think whatever part of your brain is supposed to, like, you know, that human instinct that's like, hey, you know, like, fear is a good thing, right? It gets you out of bad situations. It's like pain, right? If you can't feel pain, that's a bad thing because it's your body's way of telling you something's wrong. The Gattaca, right? The genetic code in Z-Score, clearly they missed that one.
That was an SAT word if I've ever heard one. I don't think I've ever heard that word spoken out loud, and I couldn't spell it in a spelling bee, but it's a good one, and it is true. I think since they introduced the challenges to League of Legends, I've seen vision scores go up 1,200% because they're like, got to take down the wards, got to get the cool title. And
all you got to give these gamers is just some imaginary set of pixels to fill out, man, and the stuff they will do to do it. We're such simple, brutish creatures at the end of the day.
And I'm about that life. They said
Absolutely.
5-style poke comp. I'm at it. Global Ultimates, we got it. We're going for them all. As we see at least 2 global ultimates, you know, from the side of Blue Esports that have been huge thus far in setting up a lot of these plays early on. But Team Rapid has gotten online as another.
Oh, Match is good E-buffer, though, and he's able to sidestep just barely. Yeah, cleansed out of there. He wasn't able to take any chances. I respect that holding on to the cleanse if you don't think you're going to be in trouble. Because I don't. If that was me, I panic cleanse immediately. Now, he ended up having to, but his instincts are in the right spot.
No, absolutely. That 6th sense of knowing the time distance calculation. But the Encore is down. A huge piece of the puzzle for Blue Esports Teamfight is around that key ultimate ability. And with it down right now, with only 1:30 till drag, it should be back up in time. But if there's any skirmishes in between, not going to have that key ability on cooldown. There's 9 lives. Needs to watch out. There, Adula Oblongata. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's I think that's a part of the brain. I want to say.
Sure. Yeah. We got any medical truthers out there? I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. Now we'll know if my if my fiance is watching. If she's in med school. She's probably doing something a lot more fun with her Friday night, and that's okay.
Pop quiz, lady. Tell me medical stuff now. No. But we are to see just quiet, serene times. Everybody gets the last hit, and just peace and silence, as we do have just 40 seconds left to it. Looks like Blue Esports will have the first move on the Drake. We do have Mr. Juke Jouster in the top lane. Is gonna maybe spot it on that ward. Has the TP available though, if we decide to get to tussling here.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to come down to another objective fight here. The pace of the game has slowed down a lot. Yeah, I think Diesel,
Oof.
right? He's not being as aggressive. He's got that self-awareness knowing, look, wherever I go, Witness Me is going to match me. Ooh, Juke Jouster having to flash out of there. Not a crazy valuable cooldown for a Gangplank if you're playing it right, but still nice to have in the back pocket. He's got himself an IE. Goes the Essence Reaver. Mythic item, be damned. Mythic item, I hardly know her. Right? That's how that goes.
And
they can't all be winners.
You gotta lose some to win some here, but the purple worm needs to be one if Blue Esports wants to try to hold on to this lead.
Z-Score goes in with the Shirellias. Witness Me down with the Hextech Ultimatum, but very good disengager of Juke Jouster. Going to pick up a kill before he goes down. It's a 2 for 2 so far. Diesel, he wants Witness Me's behind on a silver platter. That felt personal, Regdor, but he's not going to find it. Fearen's looking for the follow-up here. Gwen is immune, but she's not quite in range. Z-Score pressed go, and Mimic and the boys went in, and it's a 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was a cracked out fight. Barely could keep up with what happened. Hextech Ultimatums, Shurima Shuffles, Cannon Barrages, all of it right there in one spot. And as the dust settles, it is a 2 for 2. But Witness Me
has absolutely no chill. They forgot to give him the Fear Gene as well. Not well coordinated there. Shut down for Fearens and probably a Dragon for Blue Esports as well. Maybe looking for a potential turn here onto Z-Score and Matches. TP in here. Matches able to actually pick up a kill here, but Fearen's going to get the Dragon. Diesel in the fight now. Not going to take the Blast Cone. I think Matches gets out of this one. Maybe Fearen's picking up another one. No, he's going to jump right onto the Ezreal, and Blue Esports all of a sudden wresting control back in this game.
These double TP gamers, everywhere you think that it's going to be a simple fight, no. Somebody's coming in from Tossed and Sauce into the fight and just continuing to see these. Yeah. Shuffles left and right as the game jockeys for position, but 4K gold lead still for Blue Esports. Starting up the Dragon. They have not given up the soul just yet, but we may have another fight.
Oh! Deathwalker, get out of there, homie! Juke Jouster from downtown! He went pheasant hunting!
Another arrow across the map just to deter any onlookers, and that is going to be the Baron buff going to the side of Blue Esports now. And really, they've taken what they learned from game one and are using it to their advantage. This early scrappier style is doing so much, but Diesel needs to watch out. Witness Me, as you said, has no chill immediately ult.
No, and he's still got his E if he wants it. Mimic in with the double Cyclone. He's got some help, though, here from Juke Jouster. Diesel, what an incredible stopwatch. Get that item out of the game, Ryan, or you're going to get a lot more stuff like that. Somehow, he survives. Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming in to help as well. There goes the Hawk Shot, and now Juke Jouster and the boys want the cleanup. The idea was good. Get the pick onto Diesel while you can. You slaughter that 2v1, but Blue Esports extend the fight and are able to take something from it.
This turnaround here, we will get the passive up here. A nice little power to slow down the march of Blue Esports. But because they were not able to get that pick, it just sets up the collapse perfectly to be able to get this pressure on the top side. Takes down the tower. Not a real one, but a fake one. Blue buff. Given over to Zihu. And we're going to see is what looks like this nice little 4-1 style split is going on with Diesel in the mid lane and the rest of the company up in top. Oh, man. Another arrow? How many arrows you got in the quiver here, Ash? That cooldown is just insane at this point.
Diesel, he doesn't have his ult up, excuse me, but is able to take down the tower. And now just little by little, they're rotating around the map. Goon Squad taking down a tower at a time here. Zishu has hit level 16. She's feeling really, really strong. I have to say, this composition, it was unorthodox. It had some question marks, but Blue Esports, especially after the mid game, they are playing this to perfection. And there goes yet another arrow, and there's the encore follow-up. We've seen this movie before, Regdor.
It feels so bad to get hit by one thing and and that's it. You're done. Z-Score not able to get any fancy footwork out of that. It was just a wham bam. Thank you for the 300 gold, and we're gonna get the reset off now. 2 tier 2 towers taken down off this Baron play. 3,200 gold, 3267, something like that. Off of the play, now extending their gold lead out to 8K.
Yep, nice.
Yeah, thank you. I had to use almost all my fingers for that one. There, Mrs. Gamble would not be so excited that time. But the game's still not over. Still a lot of tools in the pocket of Team Rapid, as we've seen in some of these fights. If they're able to get the wombo combos off, able to get a pick beforehand, it's still anybody's game. But shout out Juke Jouster. 4 items. Now he has a mythic. He met her. With the Prowler's Claw now online, the man you have to watch for. He hides in the bush. He attack. He protect.
he do all of those things. He is he was doing that much without a mythic item. Shows you the power of this champion, man. Gangplank's crazy. With that Prowler's Claw, gonna help out even more somehow. 2 Zanyas have come in now for Fearins and Diesel. Diesel with the Zanyas, man. Yeah, it's not quite the full Mongoloid AP Volibear that we were expecting. Maybe not expecting, that's a strong word. Now looking for a pick on a Diesel. Let's see what he can do. No Witness Me. Enchanted Crystal Arrow for the first time in a while goes wide. That would have been big. Witness Me looking to hook shot, I think, over the wall. Yep, going over. And he will get the shutdown kill. Here's the thing. That feels bad because he did none of the work. But if there's someone you want that gold on, it's Witness Me.
Witness Me now has a Guardian Angel? Or had the Guardian Angel. As they do start up the next Drake, there will be a 2-shot barrage, but shouldn't.
Woo!
I had to hold my breath there as I said shouldn't do anything.
I mean, I agreed with you. That had no business hitting, but that was very well done by Matches.
Yeah, timing is important as another Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes out. Cleanse is burned by Matches,
there
though.
you go, man.
That is that's what we call worth for the side of Blue Esports. I mean, I guess ultimates don't mean as much when your CDR is or ability haste is so high that since we started talking about it, it's going to be back up here in just 3, 2, 2.5, 1, and it's up again. Look
Ridiculous.
at that. So casual.
Treat it like a Beyblade. Let it rip, man.
Abraham Ash. It's a hell of a drug.
Truly. No, it's absolutely wild. And 9 Lives has been awesome on this Ash so far. Now Z-Score in some trouble here. Very nice root. Fearins over the wall, though, with the skip and slash. Not going to extend that chase, knowing that, look, you're in enemy territory here. Team Rapid looking for a way in. And goes, Witness Me gets the flash out of 9 Lives.
And that's all I could think of is when they do that hookshot combo is them screaming "Witness Me" as they're coming down on the enemy. It's a great name. Another Enchanted Crystal Arrow going out there just saying hello. We're still here. These tight corridors are such a good place for Blue Esports to be able to fight in with the Gwen, with the Encore, able to create so much disarray for the side of Team Rapid, who are just kind of moving around this Baron that is now up again. We saw how this fight went last time.
Yeah, this one might be a 4v4, though. Just kidding. The top laners have relieved themselves of their duties in the side lane. They both got TP. Diesel. Oh! What the heck was even that? Z-Score getting so much healing. If he survives it somehow, no, of course. Death taxes and an Enchanted Crystal Arrow hitting you in the teeth. That's all the Blue Esports need. They're headed for the Baron.
3 things in life that you can count on from Blue Esports. Death taxes and Enchanted Crystal Arrows. Z-Score absolutely decimated off of the map, but it does look like Team Rapid are going to challenge 5v4 here.
They're certainly going to try. Oh, Mimic, homie, he goes in with the flash. Oh, and very nice. And Encore, Zishu, they were ready for it. Everything that Team Rapid threw at Blue Esports in this late game, they had an answer for. It was an unorthodox composition, but they played this thing absolutely incredibly. The team fights, the macro, it was spectacular.
Beyond spectacular, magnificent, a magnanimous performance here as we have another TP coming in to finish off this tier 3 on the bot side. Well, Diesel may not be looking for the tower, maybe looking for Z-score. Oh my god. You see those giant crit numbers?
Yeah. Those look like TFT numbers. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's like whenever you have your lone Yasuo on the board, or and they just hit until it dies. That's how it feels right now, as we are going to have some gamer hours tonight. Blue Esports picking up the win, taking us to a game 3.
It's going to be a fun one. We said it. In game 1, Blue Esports, they were not that far off the mark. And this was a really, really great performance by them. Juke Jouster, he did his darndest in game 1 on that Syndra. Like you said, it's not a optimal pick, shall we say. But he had a couple almost moments. But as the saying goes, almost counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and that's about it. But Juke Jouster was so much more than almost in this game. He was the whole kid and caboodle. He was incredible.
Yeah, no, it's almost. Well, you know what fixes almost? Collector. Death and taxes makes up that almost right there.
True, yeah, literally.
That little 10%, we don't worry about that anymore. Doing so much work on that gangplank, and we saw what happens when Blue has a little bit more agency in the game via an unorthodox kind of play style here with some of these picks. I don't want to say it's cheesy, but I will say that it was unconventional. And it'll be a question of how they're able to rotate that into game 3. I'll assume for now that they're going to switch sides again. And if that is the case, when you're on the blue side, you don't get to have nearly as much freedom there. We will see, probably that same thing in the jungle matchup, kind of taking away those power picks and then saying, well, what else do you still have on the plate in the game? So it'll be exciting. Hopefully we don't go back to Zeri. Hopefully Zeri stays out. Goodbye, Miss Zeri. We want early game. We want rough 'em, tough 'em, robo fighting robots, uppercuts left and right, Santa Crystaleras to the teeth, and to see who actually gets to come out on top in this all-important game 3.
Could have said it better myself. It's going to be a good one. The first 2 have been great. Third one, sure to be a banger between Team Rapid and Blue Esports. Don't you go anywhere. Unified Prestige League action on this beautiful Friday night. We'll wrap up when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. 4x4 and Regdor bringing you Game 3 between Team Rapid and Blue Esports on the Unified live stream. We're happy to have you here with us. It's been a fun one. That second game, what a bounce-back performance by Blue Esports. I have no idea what to expect from the draft in Game 3, but man, am I excited to find out.
Yeah, I love people making just weird choices and just watching like the inner like turmoil of people's heads of like, wait, where's what going, huh? Like, we didn't even realize. They're like, wait, this guy's going where? It's like the support, what was it, Yasuo in the LCK, you know, old Carrier from T1. But it's always so fun to see the innovations in draft. Senna aside, because it feels like every week somebody's like, new Senna broken combo. Make sure to like and subscribe to find out more. And it's just something weird, but really well done to provide that agency as well as that wombo combo in those fights we saw late game. If you got a hit by Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you're going to have to burn a summoner spell or just face the consequences of the man, the myth, the legend coming down in the mid lane, the Juke Jouster with the barrage of blustering bouncing bombs. I don't know. I was going for alliteration.
Look, I respect any alliterative endeavors. No, that wasn't. That was just assonance. Dang. All right, I'll get you one later. This is my second game casting with you. Third game, I guess, is we're about to get into draft, Regdor. But the fact that you appreciate a good pun and some alliteration I think we're gonna get along just fine. This has been
we're gonna do
great.
We talk about salad. We talk about Sailor Moon. Random pop culture references from before most of you were born. These are great things going on here. As we go into this third game, it is Blue Esports back on the blue side, where some would say they belong. Branding-wise. Some. And the Kindred ban on the first one out makes sense. That maths. The Lamb's Respite not going to be here to save anybody today. Mimic's going to have to find something else to mimic. Like a Ditto, if you will.
Or like a, nope, it escaped me. Never mind. We're going to try again later. Lamb's Respite, those were lethal by Mimic in game one, is the point I was trying to make. Yasuo going to be taken away. We saw that banned away in one of the last two games. I think it was game one. And there's Gangplank. Yep. Juke Jouster saying, all right, cool. I'll take that respect feather in my cap, but will not have that Gangplank. We were talking about it. That was a tough matchup for him early on, as Zeri taken away here, banned number 3 for Blue Esports. And early on, it did not look to be going his way. Deathwalker looked like he was absolutely having his way with him, but Juke Jouster, he made a mockery of the alleged scaling that Azir brought. He just had nothing to go into it, and he was absolutely running over this game. A lot of powerful picks being taken away here, but things like the Wukong, every enchanter in the game still up here for these first 3 picks on either side.
It feels interesting to me, not to get too cerebral here, but it's interesting that we seen the Zeri banned out on the blue side, saying like, hey, we're not going to play it, but we're also worried that Team Rapid might play it. They've been sitting on the Ezreal Karma 2 games in a row, once to a win and once to a loss. So the question becomes, well, is our bot lane need to do anything different? Ezreal is one of those champions that's not auto attack city. Another champion that's not auto attack city is the Zeri. We saw how much the Encore could do, and we're going to get an Encore performance here again from Blue Esports.
He's heating
Crushed it.
Seraphine, yeah, I think she was, she wasn't B1 last time, but she was R1, really early high priority. You can throw her into so many roles. And if she goes down to Zishu and she gets paired with another weird, maybe it's the Ashe, maybe it's Misfortune, who knows? But point is, this is a really, really potent champion. Enchanters are really, really strong. Witness me, gonna slam himself a Nautilus. Okay, so not gonna be Ezreal Karma if nothing else. You jonesing for that Kai'Sa Nautilus?
I'm hoping for it, but also just a side note, everybody, never mind. Forget what I said. I'm on the Kai'Sa train. Let's get it going up in here. Team Rapid making a fan out of me yet. Important to note, Kai'Sa did get the adjustment over 12.9 and 12.10. Oh, wait, no! I'm done. You got this, buddy. Solo cast. The Zaya coming through.
Yoinked out from under him. Oh, man.
What are we doing? What is... Stop playing with my heart, guys.
Don't buy into it yet. You see that little blue bar up there. That means it hasn't been locked in yet. And indeed, yeah, Zyra. That was... Oh, gosh, that has Worlds implications from the old days. Could roll in the Ashe here. Okay. So, Zyra. Yep, there you go. Probably going to see that. This isn't Season 3. Not going to see Zyra mid unless Juke Jouster plans on going down in a blaze of glory, win or loss. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. But another similarly flavored bottom lane here as far as lane presence for Blue Esports.
Yeah, I'm still a little sad right now.
I can tell.
But hey, the Udyr Bear. There is a lot of things in this game that are interesting to deal with, and Udyr is all of them. The man walks into your lane, flash, bear slaps you. You go to the grading screen, and there's no explanation given. You're just like, well, I guess position better, forehead, as he goes at me at 60 miles an hour. Really great champion for this meta. The power scaling out of him, as well as the early damage from that Phoenix stance, is something that has to be respected. With the setup from the bottom lane as well, it feels like a good game for Blue Esports just to dominate on the bot side of the map, stack these dragons, as we see the Yone picked up. Technically, it's a flex pick. Could go to the top side of the map. Since they are on the red side, they do get to kind of have that decision with the all-important R5 in the game.
And this was a pick that last week against Zenigma Esports, and even in some games here, we saw Blue Esports take away the Yone. And again, we've only seen it in bans, so we don't know who they're taking it away from necessarily. But Witness Me and Deathwalker are both players that, even in losses, they have been power points for Team Rapid. No disrespect to Z-Score in matches, but the top side has been just at least outwardly the most explosive. They've been the ones getting the highlight reel plays.
No, absolutely. And I think that's the scary thing about Team Rapid from a focal point if you're trying to prep the draft against them. Just in these 2 games that we've watched, it's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. Who can carry? Matches can carry. Deathwalker, Mimic, Witness Me. All of them have this carry potential in creating these dominant fashion at their own different points in all of these games. So it's so hard to like itemize against them, for lack of better terms, because they all have the tools of the trade needed to be successful on the Rift. We do see the Diana coming through. We saw Norelia and Nakali. We got a little mix of everything. But it'll be interesting to see what they pair up. We have the solo lanes left, more than likely. Like you said, I don't think we're going to see Zyra mid. Maybe Zyra top. Tank Zyra top. You know, that was a thing for about 3 days. But durability patch, it does wild things. It's a new kind of drug here in this all-important game number 3.
Lilia taken away as well. She is big, strong. Rammus hover here. At least I kind of hoping it's not a hover. You've already got some good engage here with Z-Score. Whether he was playing Karma or Nautilus, probably going to play that the same way. Zach in the jungle, baby. Okay.
Okay, Zach is broken. Zach is disgusting right now. And furthermore, building Demonic Embrace second, the Band-Aid all thing, it's not just the tank getting on top of you and not allowing you to move. He's also just burning you to death. And I said it off cast. It doesn't count now because I didn't say it on cast. But I bet that Corki was going to be played unless, I swear to God, they hate me. They hate me. They don't want to give me my Kaisa. They don't want to let me be big brained. they pick up the Lucian and the Aatrox here, rounding out the draft.
Yeah, so I think that Lucian probably going to go into the mid lane, I would have to guess. Diesel will be piloting the Aatrox here. Yeah, if you can't get Lucian with Nami, I guess throw him into the mid lane. Throw him into a solo lane. And Witness Me on the Fiora. Again, that was something that he played last week in a slightly more kind of spring split meta comp that they tried it out. But that Demonic Embrace that you mentioned, yeah, throwing that on champions that have the ability to stick to you, right? Sunfire Demonic, that's how I like to play Amumu. Usually just like a little grenade, right? You just throw him in there and he just lights up the team fight. That's less about Amumu and more about, to your point, Demonic Embrace being an absolutely crazy item right now.
Oh, yeah. And it's phenomenal because it still is giving him Zach the stats that he wants. And it's going to be hard from the side of Blue Esports. They have to make a concerted effort to find vision where it needs to be. It's kind of like the art of war, right? Fight the enemy where they're not. Zach goes to the places that you don't think to ward and comes in with that slingshot from 16 miles away, it feels like, and is able to get on top of your carries. Again, Zyra and Seraphine, not mobile. Do not have dashes or dips and dodges or dives in their kit. The best they can hope to do is try to root you down and walk away from the engagement. But incredibly important because we have a more normal style ADC in the Xayah Nautilus. Very early kill pressure, able to, at level 2, get down the feather pullback on top of the dredge line and just lock you in place. Whereas it doesn't feel like Blue Esports' damage is there early on, like we saw in the last game with the Ashe Seraphine, to really combat that and match their aggression piece for piece. They're going to have to look to maybe hunker down a little bit and wait for Behrens to come down on the Udyr and just bear slap Phoenix Stance's way to victory.
Yeah, what they don't have in damage, they have in CC. Like you said, they've got roots and CC out the wazoo, so it's not like they don't have ways out of these engages, but anything with a Nautilus level 2, if you can weave in your passive, get those autos down, Nautilus is just, he's freelo. He will never not have a place in the meta. We get into, and are about to, load onto the Rift here shortly. Yeah, a little more, like you said, conventional style ADC here for Team Rapid. Nothing about a lot of these drafts has been conventional, but No, this should be a good one here. Lucian back in the mid lane, something that we haven't seen in a while. Again, he's kind of just with his homie Nami right there in the bot lane. But I'm excited to see how the solo laners of Team Rapid that have been so monstrous all series perform, is the word I was looking for, on these picks that have been either banned against them or that they have picked and won on before. And picks with a lot of carry potential as well in the Fiora and the Yone.
No, absolutely. I think the phrase,
Whoa!
Oh my gosh. Woo! Flashes left and right. Z-Score having no fear. Juke Jouster already no flash on the Lucian. I'm about to say Yone and Yasuo. What I was going to say is because he doesn't have flash now, Yone gets a huge up in lane, able to use that Q3 to just be able to get in on these early trades. He's only going to have the dash once he gets to level 2 to be able to do anything. So what is already like what's supposed to be a semi-contested matchup skill between the Yone into the Lucian becomes a little bit easier when he has one less tool, on the toolbox, in the tool belt. Tools.
There's a lot of places for tools. No.
Yeah, let me tell you. I have all kinds of storage you can fit in this bad, Larry. But I was going to say, Topside is going to be, it feels like Armageddon, the name of our third Pentakill album, featuring Yumi. The Aatrox into Fiora, and knowing Diesel and Witness Me thus far, this isn't going to be chill farming. No grasp on the Undying here. We're going for domination. And I cannot wait to see what it looks like. Because like you said, if either one of these gets that advantage in lane, it just all of a sudden becomes so hard to survive in the lane and then be able to contest side lane in the mid game.
Yeah, and in both of these champions with so much carry potential, but the players piloting them have it's just all gas, no brakes. They love to fight. But both these junglers are absolutely going to have a part to play in this early game. This is the first time we've seen kind of two ganking junglers, right? I mean, you could sort of call Diana that, right? But she's very ult dependent, right? There's nothing kind of in her QWE, if you will, right? Yes, she's got like the Luna Rush on her E, fine. But you know what I'm trying to say here. These are two stylistically very, very different junglers than what we've seen in the first two games.
No, I absolutely agree, and we're going to have to see how it actually turns out. You'll see that Juke Jouster got an early ward down based off that priority. They get an eye out on the Raptors there. Will not be able to take that cheeky little... that is a dredge line, though, coming in.
A glacial augment, too, on Nautilus. Really, really nice. That's Season 11 glacial augment. Yeah, if you find in any sort of angle. Yep, and there he goes again. 9 lives, and the damage rained down onto him. And actually, this might be enough. The Ignite comes ticking down. One more auto might do it. Instead, he's going to root Z, who can't quite get in range. 9 lives. Living up to his name, barely surviving that. Now he's got some help. Here comes Fearens. He's double buffed, and he's 2 levels up, ladies and gentlemen. Now just 1. Fine. Thank you, players. There goes the double B drop. Oh, and 9 lives, a little too close to the sun. Z-Score says, gotcha, homie. It's a trade 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
Yeah, Z-Score really, girl boss gatekeeped that into a 1-for-1 there. As you can see, the good old Zyra support, not too often picked and not too often great. I think the last time we saw it was in the TL series in the LCS quarter semi-finals, losers bracket, something like that. Tried it out with the Ashe. Didn't go the most phenomenal in the world. But here in this early game, we are seeing, like you said, a lot of aggression. First to strike on the ganking junglers was Fearens going in there with the beautiful Phoenix Stamp, Bear Slap combo. Was going to say, Glacial Augment, item that's a rune that's kind of contested on somebody like Nautilus. People have different feelings because he doesn't have the innate tankiness like Leona with that W. He does give up a lot of the sustain ability to just kind of like force fights early because of it. But if they're able to get some kill pressure, that doesn't matter. If a Nautilus is ahead, then he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, because Aftershock in theory gives you right what Leona W doesn't. Or what Leona W does. But if you are able to layer that CC down and just play your Nautilus masterfully, Z-Score did die, so I don't know if I'd go capital M masterfully, but his hooks were really, really clean. All right, there you go. The last win as Witness Me heading for the hills. Fearon's making his presence felt all over the map. CLG, Biofrost, now a member of Dignitas, of course. I believe they're playing right now against CLG. Summer 2019 playoffs. Man, CLG in the playoffs. Wow. TBT, man.
And,
Yeah, also Optic, on the other side of that.
Yeah, Optic Gaming, that's a team, man. You're really like, got a musty tome you're opening up there to bring out these words. Musty tome. Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. But what isn't cracking up right now is Deathwalker in this range versus melee matchup. Able to trade effectively using that Spirit Rush, not the right word, but using the Spirit Form to get out there, take a small trade, get the CS, and then snap back to actually save some resources here for the Yone. Biggest resource he has is the health bar. So, wonderfully played thus far, not giving Juke Jouster any huge leads overall.
No, and Juke Jouster, I think he wasn't angling for any sort of lead. He was just angling to survive, like we were talking about. He blew that flash early, and now he's got it back. Level 6, he's even in farm. He is down items because Deathwalker was able to get a cheeky back, and he had to blow his TP, whereas Juke Jouster has taken Ignite into the Yone. Fantastic choice. We'll see if, when the bullets start flying and the swords start swinging, who's going to come out on top in this one. If there is that all-in, I think if Fearns has anything to say about it, the way he's been playing, wouldn't be surprised if there was. Mimic, just going to drop down a control ward here. Not really looking for anything, especially not pre-6. See if he can find anything in the jungle meanwhile. Witness Me, he's got the grand challenge up. Crashes a wave into that top tower. He's up 13 CS. B-Trop not going to find anyone here. This game feels like it's about to explode, and it just might here. Elastic Sling Shot. There goes the grand challenge. Fearns has to pop Ghost again, pretty much on cooldown. So making his presence felt is Mimic this time around. But still, no blood, no foul.
No blood, no foul indeed. And just watching Witness Me there a little bit earlier on some of those trades, you could see like the technical mastery using those auto attack resets off of the lunge parry combinations there to get down the maximum damage. And at a few points, using the auto spacing to kind of back away. It's like a weird thing about the vitals is it's either down and left or top and right. So if it's one of the ones they don't want, they can just walk away and they'll know that it'll reset to one of the other two. So it actually kind of gives like a sneak inside the matrix to understand the combinations that Fiora has to play into to get the optimal, damage off these vital points.
I had no idea. Wow, learn something new every day. And it's not just fun facts about Zyra support and Optic, apparently. Something a lot more useful.
Yeah, shout out to our technical director. He's got all the fun facts. The last game, I thought he was just a Gangplank one trick. He just knew so much.
No, he stays strapped with the fun facts. Yeah, this game not exploding quite like we were hoping here. Oh, but here comes the root. Plants going up and dealing some damage here to matches. Somehow didn't aggro the tower, just dancing on the outside of that tower range. Now Mimic and Deathwalker maybe looking for something here. If they can crash that wave down, potentially look for a dive, maybe, but it's a 4v4. Diesel going to pop the World Ender. Witness Me doesn't have Grand Challenge up, at least not just yet. Has to flash away, and Diesel will take that, even though he burned a flash of his own.
And Diesel playing the cheeky way up against the wall, knowing that they can't get to the vital. Witness Me just stuck trying to find a way to jimmy between the wall and the Aatrox to try to get that damage down. Really well played from Diesel here, trying to find his way back into the matchup as Witness Me goes back in with a grand challenge.
No wall, no safety. Very good parry! Ooh. Witness Me! Look at that!
That was Witness Me with a capital W there, making an emphatic statement saying top lane is mine there. Now 20 CS up and the kill. No TP for Diesel. And the wave's going to set up perfectly to be frozen right outside the tower for Witness Me to be able to walk back to.
Mimic just missing with the Q after the Elastic Slingshot. Man, I'm still thinking about that for you. That was cool as hell. That was so cool. Very well done parry. Able to get just enough space to get that vital down. Man, oh, and that That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a very sacrificial support. Freezing that wave just chef's kiss perfectly.
Huge ups to 9 lives there, just setting up for success. Because now we have Zihu with a lost chapter, has some AP under the belt, able to do a little bit more damage with the double up beat drop. Just basically auto clears the wave. Pretty useful to be able to get that early priority. Team Rapid did pick up the first Drake of the game in all of the calamity. That is this game 3 here. Juke Jouster, though. Nice trading there. Good auto spacing from Juke Jouster into Deathwalker.
Yeah, he lost that flash early, but since then, he has been great. He has been really playing these trades well, using the melee versus ranged advantage that he does have. Both these mid laners sitting on a noon quiver and some change. Meanwhile, on the neutral objectives front, Team Rapid did pick up that first dragon. Again, it's been a slower early game than what we've seen in games 1 and 2. But on the other side, Firenz, has grabbed himself a Herald. He's got that Bomby Cinder into the boots. He's going to start doing Udyr things. Well, he has been doing Udyr things. He's got Ghost. He drops Shelly here.
Let's is 4 people bot side.
Yeah, let's see if they go for the dive. I think they're planning on Zishu landing some sort of CC, but now it's actually Team Rapid turning the fight here. There goes the depth charge. Juke Jouster, very nice flash immediately, and there goes a Stranglethorn as well. Deathwalker goes down. Juke Jouster picking up the kill. Mimic says, let's bounce and get the heck out of dodge. Z-Score up front, doesn't have that inherent tankiness like you were talking about. The beat drop, not going to find it. Passive, not quite enough. Oh, Z-Score with his dying breath grabs Zishu and makes it a favorable, at least slightly more favorable trade for Team Rapid.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of a bridge too far there. You have to beware the Nautilus. The only time that you can approach the Nautilus is when he's dead already. Otherwise, he will take you down with him.
Ooh, very good parry there. There goes the World Ender. Man, I love that sound effect. That is one of my favorites. It just sounds like the metal clanging on metal. Witness me. He wants it, man. You could hear him foaming at the mouth here. One more tower shot will do it. Yep, it's a 1-for-1.
Hey, but the statement was made. He said that nowhere is safe on the top side of the map. It is all about the domination now. 2-1 on the Fiora with a sizable lead. I'm not going to do the math on that. Doing math in public is not fun. Math in public's right up there with like editing a PowerPoint in a conference room. There's just 2 things you don't want to deal with, because if you get it wrong, everybody makes fun of you. Yep. But who we're not making fun of is Blue Esports here in this early game, making money moves around the map, supporting themselves. Not really a gold lead, but I think a mental advantage in my own brain, because the top side of the map may not be going great, but they're staying well into the game elsewhere.
Yeah, this game is very, very even. It's by far, been the most even one to this point. Because even in game 1, where the kills and certain other metrics that you might look at once you take your eyes up to the scoreboard, didn't quite seem like Team Rapid had the crazy lead that they did. But you used a very good term, the invisible pressure that they got by having the Dragon stack. And with Mimic on that Kindred, just running over the early game, completely uncontested. Firenz had a game to forget on the Diana. But this one has been very, very even. Mythics being picked up across the board here for Blue Esports. You want to talk about these incremental advantages? This might be where they find them.
And I'm really interested. Matches, looks like they're opting for the shield bow on Xayah. Not an item that we've generally seen before the craziness that was lethality Xayah. We really used to see just the Gale Force as the huge piece for them, giving the extra sense of mobility with the ultimate to stay out of danger, which they might be in some now.
Yep, Firenz has popped Ghost, and he's going to Flash Bear slap, gets a stun off, but Match was able to buffer the ultimate. If he can yank back the feathers, but Firenz just staying right on top of her. There goes Mimic trying to help out. Meanwhile, Juke Jouster going to dump the culling down. Beautiful 3-man encore, but able to pick up a kill there onto Z-Score. It's being traded 2 for 2 here. Deathwalker joining the fight. Can he be a win condition for his team? No. Diesel has shown up, and he is bopping heads. Blue Esports going to walk away winners in this trade. Cells divided, cannot stand. Blue Esports come away big winners in this one. They're going to get a dragon for their troubles.
And Match is buying so much time with the ultimate. Great buffer of the stun there to be able to just create space and the rest of the team collapsing. Diesel now 2-2. Mans said, you know what? Top lane may not be going great. You know what's a good thing to do? Kill the enemy ADC. Able to get so much off of that. Now gold bounty on their back. Has the Gore Drinker as Juke Jouster may be in, as they would say, the wrong hood.
Yep. Oh, very well done, though. Very patient, holding on to his E. He will walk away into the loving, safe arms of his minion wave as they just get absolutely shredded by some razor-edged feathers. Deathwalker looking for it. Spirit form in. Does not have his fate sealed, excuse me, and just going to auto him to death. Zishu was absolutely annihilated. It's a solo bolo in the mid lane team. Rapid punch back.
Yeah, he may not have had the fate sealed, but Zishu's fate was sealed there in that matchup. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yone, very dangerous champion, now has the shield bow with that spirit form, able to, successfully pull off these tower dives and get back before taking too much aggro. As the unconventional means of transportation, as Z-Score also unconventionally transports himself out with the dredge line.
And one of the many tools that makes Nautilus the insane champion that he is. Hex Flash over the wall. Very nice stuff. Juke Jouster again, very patient with his E, and he's going to dump blood into Z-Score. Not going to be enough, though. Fearens doesn't have his ghost. Might not be a problem here. Bear, Turtle, Bear, Phoenix. Ooh, just not enough. Knows that he can get those feathers yanked back onto him. Zishu going to grab himself another kill here. Boop, there he goes. Throws the Q over the wall. We've got, it's been scrappy. It's been scrappy in these last few minutes, Regdor.
Yeah, a lot of people, thinking they're in a place they're allowed to be, but actually being illegal and just skirmish after skirmish. Shout out Juke Jouster, though. The Gale Force E combo is one that if you don't time it correctly, you get this weird, middle ground where you're stuck for a second. But instead is able to pull it off seamlessly to create all that distance there and actually almost turn it around as the challenge is down.
Oh, man, and it is grand. Parry in, dash through, one more vital. That's what it do. Witness me. A huge shutdown as well. Wow, Diesel had a bounty on him today, I learned.
The what it do is that's it for me. As the encore does come through.
And it finds Mimic. Might not be enough here. Z-Score. He's got that hook locked and loaded. You know it. We'll sidestep that second beat drop. That is big. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Juke Jouster, the solo laner, in his bag down there in, well, a solo lane.
That makes sense, yeah. I'll buy that for $5 here. And just so far in this game, it's been so contested back and forth. 200, 300 gold. No, 100 gold difference. Thank you, everybody. I'm working through it. I am slow on occasion. So, keeping the gold score very tight. One drag to each of them. I think a herald to each of them now, if I can remember correctly. Games start to just all flow together to me. So, it's just one for one here. And we got to think what, the break point's going to be. Mythic items through for everybody, but the poor support Zyra. Has a Hextech Alternator and a Blasting Wand. Doing some quick math here. Not sure what that's going to build into just yet. But we'll have to see. Oh, it's a Night Harvester. Hey. Okay. I can't say that I've seen this.
You sound unimpressed. Your silence is deafening.
I don't know yet. I mean, they're obviously, I will say, smarter than me. Obviously, I am definitely not the Zyra powerhouse that is home. But does feel a bit unconventional. But we saw what happens when Nightlife chooses to be unconventional, and that was some pretty cool things that happened. So we're going to give it some time and watch what will unfold here for the side of Blue Esports with just a little under a minute till this next Drake spawns.
Z-Score finds himself in the wrong hood and takes a blasting cone out of there. Blast cone, blasting wand. There we go. By the way, gonna find himself back in the river, and the gold dead even. 1-1 in towers, 1-1 in dragons. Gold basically even. Blue Esports just barely ahead by a hair's breadth. The ocean, or excuse me, the cloud dragon. Third one of the game. Gonna come up here, Z-Score. Looking for that hook. Blue Esports playing a little more respectfully around it. 3-0-3 is the scoreline on Juke Jouster. He's been incredible as well. Everyone's had their moment under the sun here. Diesel couldn't get it done against Witness Me, so he's going to try his luck against Deathwalker. No ults popped on either side, holding on to it. Blue Esports going to try to bait something on the Baron. And in response, Mimic says, fine, you guys take the big purple worm. I'm going to drop a purple crab in the mid lane. Now you choose. Oh, wait, we're going to make the choice for you. We are going to start this fight, and this by an elastic slingshot. Encore down. Very nice stuff. Witness Me over the wall. Completely dodges the encore. That might have sealed the fight as Deathwalker comes in to seal their fate. 2 kills and a shutdown for Mimic. Fearance is down. Team Rapid finally break the game open.
I think that was parried? Question mark? I think
Maybe.
the encore got parried there. But Witness Me just I thought they were Zac. I thought they were Mimic the way that they just jettisoned into the backline. As again, we just see Diesel getting clapped on here. All members strong, but they are taking some damage. As Witness Me is able to finish off another, now 5-2 on this Fiora, and 9 lives, is about to lose one of them.
Yep, he's already lost 2. That's the 3rd one, so he's down to 6 lives. Still got himself a nice KP, though, to be fair. 7 assists out of 9. I honestly did not expect that number to be that high. But either way, Team Rapid, yeah, they break it open there. I was a little nervous about that kind of Baron retake. I didn't think they would actually, like, go for it. But at the 20-minute mark, the Baron will do a sneaky amount of damage to your champions. We saw that last game, right? It was a very sloppy Baron take and retake. And I thought the Team Rapid, maybe were going to shoot themselves in the foot here. But well, they walk away. They get their resets. Witness Me has a Muramana? Question mark? Cool.
Yeah, that's an item.
Yeah, that's fine.
I knew all that really technical stuff about the vitals. I do not know the Monomune tech. We're gonna see how it develops. I guess when you're 5-2, it's kind of like Katarina. You just slap any 6 items on them, and they do a ton of damage. At this point, Fiora turbo ahead in this game. Sitting on a lot of yard sale items at the moment. Has the Executioner's Calling and the Tiamat.
Yeah. Like you said, it is a garage sale, but hasn't even finished boots yet. But clearly, things are going just fine for Witness Me. Yeah, I looked at the numbers on the other side here as Witness Me just trying to put on an encore performance here, but takes a couple tower shots too many. Just those last 2 vitals on the Grand Challenge, not going to find it. Now Diesel, maybe with a well-placed W. It's the knock-up there. Both top laners, no, just kidding. It's just Witness Me that has a TP. Might not even need it. Blue Esports looking to get the jump onto Team Rapid. Z-Score with a very nice stopwatch. Going to lay down a little CC before losing his life. Matches wailing away. There is his moment under the sun. Everyone's had theirs. And Witness Me, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, is going to pick up a kill. The Team Rapid, another successful team fight.
Yeah, that is huge. I don't know if you saw Mimic just able to walk around menacingly and do tons of AoE damage after that slingshot in. This time, the big purple worm will go down to the side of Team Rapid, who have finally fully pulled ahead on this game here. Now sitting with a sizable lead in their back pocket, i.e. finished on the Yone. Deathwalker walking with a little bit more death in his pocket here.
Well said. Yeah.
Those were good words.
Mm-hmm. They were very good words. What's wild is, like you said, literally just 2 minutes ago at the 21-minute mark, we were saying, oh, man, there's this goal, this game is like dead even. And it literally was. And then, bam, out of nowhere, 7,000 gold advantage for Team Rapid and a Baron buff to boot. This is getting ugly here for Blue Esports, and this has been a theme in these last few games. Is it's close until it's not, and more so in game 1, I should say. Okay, Diesel, he's in some trouble here. Witness Me has the Grand Challenge. He's level 16 as well. I think he's gonna hold on to it though. He knows he doesn't need to pop it. Mimic over the wall says, "Hey guys, I'm helping," and sure enough, he is. Nice stretching strikes. Witness Me getting his 7th kill of the game.
He said, "I'm helping," and he is. Yeah, this Zac has been so much of a catalyst, as we saw when they broke open the game up there around like the sort of Baron bait on the top side was Zach in Fiora getting into the backline. Mimic and Witness Me just absolutely terrorizing Blue Esports.
And so it continues. 2 kills for Mimic. He's got 7 kills. What are we doing? He's got a Dark Seal. He's just having fun.
Yeah, no, this is the interesting part, you know, as an Amumu stan that you are. The AP ratios on both Zac and Amumu are crazy, so you can have this tankiness, and then Demonic Embrace just slots in so well to help soak up and create more of this AoE damage in the team fights.
There are many lethal combinations in life, like cookies and milk, and Sunfire Demonic Embrace on champions like that is another. You hit the nail right on the head. It's so cursed. It's so tilting to play against. And you've got so many tools that's not even your ultimate, right? It's abilities that have low cooldowns. Amumu has 2 of them in one ability with the Qs now that just allow you to stick. And Thornmail got a buff. That item is nutso now. This game, I'm not going to say it. I almost said it, which is a bad caster habit. This game is really, really hard to lose for Team Rapid right now.
This is what you call a very uphill battle. You know something else that's a bad combination that you made me think of? Something else we can add to the menu at Sauced and Tossed, and that is chips and queso.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We can like call it Zach's Nachos or something like that. We're going to get a whole menu.
Zach has the guac-themed item because he's green. Chips and guac. Dang. There you go.
Well, nobody's yellow. He's also gooey.
Yeah. Are you more of a guac or a queso fella?
Oh, I'm a huge queso fella. Give me that.
Spoken like a true Oklahoman. Yeah, you're very from the south of the Great Plains there.
Yeah. We need the Tex-Mex. You know. Oh, don't shush. Oklahoma's the South or the Midwest, depending on who you're talking to. But talking about being down south, we have another fight kicking off here.
Yep, in the South Quadrant of the jungle, and Z-Score, good night. Matches, yanking the feathers back, saying, I'm taking these with me, and I am going that way. Fearon's, he is so quick. He's just able to get everybody in. Frozen Heart is the item. Thank you, Rain. Range there, as now 3rd dragon of the game. Taken for Team Rapid. Deathwalker in, doing his darndest. Witness Me gets exhausted. There goes, there he goes. Mimic now in with the Elastic Slingshot. Matches. Throws out the arrows. Diesel over the wall. Gonna bonk on the ADC. But feathers might be too much here. Yanked back here. Mimic. He's got his passive. Matches looking for a way in. Mimic just trying to extend the fight. He says, let's bounce. He's got the ultimate back. Will that be enough? It just might. This champion is nuts. These items are crazy. This meta is way too much fun. What did he stretching strikes on a Zyra plant?
I think so.
That is disrespectful.
Mimic scratch, clawed, glooped, and glopped his way through that fight, refusing to go down 11-1. Wow. He has all the jewels in the Infinity Gauntlet that is the Dark Seal, and they'll take down the mid inhib tower after what was just Picasso, I love it, of a fight there from Team Rapid.
That was a fight. That was a modern art masterpiece. They had no business winning that. I'm going to be honest. I had a bit of a tough time calling it because I was like, that's a lot of blue health bars, but they're behind. Rapid should be stomping this, but it was so disjointed and so fragmented. It was just Mimic being as gargantuan as he is right now that won that fight for them, and some good spacing by Matches, to be fair.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Matches low-key was smurfing that fight there. Still, as you can see from this amazing gold chart, gold kind of took a dive towards the red side at one point, and it is not going back since, creating us a real Grand Canyon here as Diesel and Witness Me fight it out, much to the chagrin of Diesel here.
Deathwalker, before his E snaps him back, Juke Jouster gonna walk away with a hair of health. Yeah, he's also really, really big. Only 3, 3, and 6, but he hits like someone who has got a lot more under him. He's got on his way to a Guardian Angel as well. If they can get a pick, they'll end this game. But in that next fight, they should be able to as well. Cloud Soul up in 245. Mimic going to start up the Baron. Honestly, he could probably kill the thing himself. But his homies will help him out, make it go a little quicker.
Yeah, this is definitely, what was it, the start of season 11 when you could just solo the Baron as a Mumu?
Yep.
The toaster.
The toaster
Oven that was. Yeah, this is a toaster oven with the Sunfire cape. Fearen's though.
Fearen's, he's the bait. Zishu throws down the hook. Mimic in the back line. That's a lot of damage there from Juke Jouster. And they found themselves a one-man lead as Z-Score goes down. Good shielding. Zishu playing that fight very, very well. They get one kill. But then what?
Wait, Mimic?
Oh, then Mimic! Then Mimic! Just goes all gas, no brakes. The rest of the team isn't there. There goes the Cell Division. Buy him a little bit of time. There's that TP. Keeping one alive here. Elastic Slingshot on his way out. A lot of damage on a Deathwalker. It's a 1-for-1 now, extending the fight here. Matches on a killing spree. And witness me, just too big. Mimic has healed himself back up. He took the aggressive play when he had the Cell Division up, and the TP onto it salvaged that fight.
Yeah, that was what we first. That was like maybe a 300 IQ play there. Mimic saying, "Hey, I'll get my passive popped. We'll get Witness Me or Deathwalker back into the fight." They're able to get the 2 inhibs down here. It's gonna be a hot minute till the mid inhibs back up. Nothing left to do except for take the resets here. Now, point out matches 3-0, deathless in this game. Now sitting on 3 items. Has the LDR, Lord Dominic's Regard here, is going to be able to start pumping up some damage. This is where Xayah shines, is in the post 3 item landscape. And we have reached that point. And you got to say, Mimic, can Mimic get any larger? Buy himself an Iron Elixir, maybe? Because the man's full bore. Maybe he'll buy the Medjais.
If he slams the Medjais, I can't say those words on broadcast. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm gonna be elated. I will be superfluous, like any superfluous word you could think of. That's going to be me. I love.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
He bought the Medjais.
Oh, I missed it. I was like, did he just have a stroke? What's going on?
No.
Forrest just losing it here, but we got the Medjais in the game. Zach has now gone to college. He is a learned doctor in Riftonomics here, as it does look like the Drake will go down uncontested. Cloud Soul to the side of Team Rapid, now sitting on a lot of gold. How much lead? Much lead. Here is Witness Me, pushing in the bottom side. Not somebody you want to meet in a dark alley.
No, I don't want to meet him in the broad daylight either. I want no part of this man right now. Yeah, as Guten kind of saying in the chat, he's not Zach, he's Zachary now. He is very, very big. Matches. Sends the feathers back. He's got that LDR. And with the kite back potential that Xayah has, just such a cheekier item into Fearen's, who just loaded up on the Frozen Heart. He says, aha, now Xayah can't touch me. Just kidding. We are way too strong. Encore misses. That might be the death knell. Witness Me sees that as a go button. He's 2 levels up on Diesel. He cannot play the video game. 1 goes down. 2 goes down. Deathwalker's going to grab himself an assist. It's a triple kill for Witness Me, and that will do it. Team Rapid blow it open at the 20-minute mark and do not look back. They take the series 2-1 and move it to 2-0 on the season with a dub over Blue Esports. Please. Thank you. There it is.
That was pod racing right there. That is not Zach. That is Dr. Zachariah the third there at the end of the game. Mimic putting on such the whole top side of the map. If I was to say like what if I was making Team Rapid's motto, because I'm just apparently a marketing guy now with all these great ideas, I would name it Witness Me, because that's exactly what they did. They faltered a little bit in game number 2. But game number 3, they absolutely tore it up the top side of the map, and Jungle just doing so much work here and showing why they're 2-0 and why they may be the team to beat here in the Ocean Division.
Yeah, and Team Rapid, you want to talk about living up to your namesake. Witness Me, unbelievable. Deathwalker. Team Rapid as a whole, they, at every stage in the game, even when they were down, they played with such aggression, such chutzpah, if you will, and we will. When they got leads in games 1 and 3, they did an amazing job of keeping their foot on the gas. And yes, like the top side, knucking futs. But Z-Score, whether he was on Karma or whether he was on Nautilus, guy was playing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He was incredible.
Now, it's like you said, there's no fear gene in the Team Rapid's mindset. And when they get a hold of leads, they do not falter. They do not let go. And I can't wait to see more. I want to see what else Mimic's got in the old lunch pail of jungle picks here, as for at least, the Premier League, we're continuing to figure out the meta and what's going to be great. And looks like Zach's a pretty darn good champion, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and if Mimic didn't make you pay attention to that champ before, he certainly made you pay attention now. What a series. That was fun. I'm exhausted. I can't imagine what the players are feeling like. I've done a lot of screaming, but that is a sign of a fun broadcast. Well, I don't know. We'll see if my throat appreciates it tomorrow morning. But either way, Regdor, it's been a pleasure, excuse me, for Hyper, for Leanne, for everyone involved in the UPL for making this happen. I've been 4x4. Thank you so much for being here on this Friday night. Again, in Ocean Division action on the Unified Premier stream in the Unified Prestige Division. It is the 2-0 now. Team Rapid, they take a hard-fought 2-1 over Blue Esports. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you back here next week. Take care. See you soon.